I look the fool. Classic.
Yeah, it doesn't like that. It doesn't like what I try to do. It's like, hey, I don't like that. And I'm like, what is that? It's like, I don't know.
I'll never
like
tell.
it, though.
If y'all remind me after the stream, I'll tell you the stupidest thing I almost bought, but didn't because I had to be responsible.
Is it a metal Dark Souls poster board?
No, it's even stupider than that. It requires a bit of a story. So
any purchase that requires a tail is always like, I'm always interested.
the worst part is it's just true nonsense. I loved it. But it would literally be something only I understood and would have found funny.
We're not out of the woods yet with that Dark Souls poster. It will eventually be in my house. It's just a question of where.
Yes. I'm just waiting for an office I can put it. I have it saved, literally.
Alright, here's what I'm suggesting, Aaron. You get an office that has like a sliding door or whatever, like a sliding glass door to it, and you get like a fog machine so that there's constantly, it's like a fog wall there, right? So that like
absolutely not.
I mean, you could even put it on the other side of the glass because then it's in your domain, which means that it's fair game if you really wanted to.
That way
and then just have like one of those motion sensors that trigger whenever someone like passes through it, and rig it up so that it plays the like sound that it makes in Dark Souls when you enter a fog wall. So that every time someone like opens the door and comes in, it goes like it makes that sound. And then if you want it locked, you can have it rigged up with like an electric lock, so that when you go to pull it, it has like an LED display that comes up on the actual center of the glass door that says "does not open from this side." That's what I think you should do. That would just be my opinion.
Oh my god, the amount I wish I could do that.
I mean, that is literally discussing like spending hundreds, if not over $1,000 on a door and lots of dry ice. But
Aaron, how attached to this wedding are you?
Pretty attached.
I have alternatives.
Said everything.
I just want to spend a few $1,000s on making my dreams come true, Aaron. If you think about the price that we're paying compared to
If we could get our money back for this wedding that we spent, it would be worth considering. Just because of all the bullshit.
Oh, Lord.
Wedding planning sucks. I don't recommend it. Don't get married. We don't have a wedding. It's stupid.
Yeah, 0 out of 10. Go get to Justice of the Peace wedding, take all the money you were going to spend on the wedding, and go do something fun instead. For yourself.
Hey babe, can our wedding just be a bonfire in the woods?
I think our wedding should be what we discussed, which is like on a pirate ship in the harbor, except we do it for free because we don't actually book it. We get a bunch of people to be pirates and we pirate the ship. Like we actually steal it.
Hell yeah.
That's go to federal prison for this.
Yeah, you'd be especially fucked because you get like extradited. Be a whole
yeah,
thing.
we went to Canada and we stole a ship.
We'll get you a shirt. I went to Canada and all I got was this stupid T-shirt and a federal prison sentence.
I have a coworker who's not allowed back in Canada, and I would have to join them.
What did they do to enrage Canada?
They got pulled over on a highway, and their argument was he pulled her over with like a hand wave, and he says, if I was going slow enough for you to pull me over with a hand wave, I wasn't going fast enough for a ticket, so I'm not fucking paying it. And so they just never paid it. Now they're not allowed back.
I mean,
It's
save
a good
themselves.
Sounds right.
point, but like, is
Very
that
American.
the hill you're gonna die on?
Her exact
Oh.
words were like, I don't have to go. Why do I have to come back to Canada? I'm only here for work. She's like, I'm not coming back again.
Well,
A year later, we're gonna need you to go to Canada for a little
Sorry.
while.
Man.
Gonna need you to pay a parking ticket, boss.
Yeah.
with interest, eh?
That's like 1,500 Canadian. What is that? 300 US? I don't know the conversion rate.
We'll call that a crisp $20 bill and send you on your way.
That would just be so rude.
Got any state
Here's
bonds
20 bucks.
in there?
There you go.
I don't know why, but an unironically just so ignorant American is just the funniest thing in the world to me. Just
We used to have a commercial about it because in Canada we used to have these things called Canadian Heritage Minutes, which were like literally minute long. I hesitate to call them commercials, but they played
They're
during
like
the time.
PSAs, kind of. Except
Kinda
for
like
they
PSAs.
taught you history about Canada.
It was literally something that was meant to teach you something significant about Canadian history, and they were all a minute long, and there's like over 100 of them, and they were all perfectly 90s, and like they'd be like dramatic reenactments and stuff about like famous events from Canadian history. And one of them is about Canada's like enforcing of gun laws during like the gold rush, and there's literally it's about a famous Canadian Mountie named I think he was lieutenant or sergeant. I think he was Lieutenant Sam Steele, who was like responsible for enforcing the gun laws in Western Canada during the gold rush, like people trying to get into the Yukon and stuff. And it's the most like stereotypical American cowboy thing you've ever seen. It's just this guy like right in the face freaking out, and he's like, "What do you mean I can't take my guns? Like, I'm an American, you can't do this to me." And then Sam Steele is just very calmly like, "Well, you see, sir, you can't bring those weapons into Canada." And then he just like starts protesting. He's like, "All right, send him back where he came from, boys." And then it's just like a Mountie escorting this like ridiculous Yosemite Sam-esque character out of Canada, and he's like, "Why didn't I shoot him? He didn't even have a gun. I could have shot him." And it's like, and then a narrator just comes in and it's like, "Lieutenant Sam Steele is responsible for securing the border in northern Canada from this year to this year." Like, whatever. It's so fucking funny. I want to get that as a sub sound anytime someone follows.
Yo,
Just,
hey.
"I'm an American, you can't do this to me."
Hey, speaking of sub sounds, mine are changed. Did you change them
No.
as a fun surprise or something? You didn't?
What do they change to?
They're a bat. A bat
Hmm.
pops up, and then there's this like flicker of yes, Dixon Cider. Thank you so much for the super chat.
Hell, I didn't mean to change them, but I did. Do you like them?
They're fun.
I thought I changed them back. I did that by accident.
I like them.
I accidentally set that up for you.
Thank you.
That's true. I'll show you how I did it after. I accidentally did it.
it.
And,
I know how to change them, but I like them. This is fine.
Okay. I thought I had changed
For the
it
rest of
back.
Spooky season, I can get behind it. I have been a very bad goth girl and haven't really been doing Gothtober this year. I just have been too burnt the fuck out.
Yeah, it's Chilltober this year, boys.
Straight up though.
We deserve a Chilltober.
It's year 2 of quarantine. Let's just go ahead and accept that we take this one.
Yeah, Halloween is basically just going to be me sitting on the front step pelting nearby children with Reese's cups if they get close enough.
Take
Oh
it, you
my
ruffian.
God.
Take it, you ruffian.
Some candy, whatever, dude. I'm just fucking whatever. Just go, take it. Thank you. Have a
We
nice
left out a
evening.
bowl last year. I think the only people who took from it were our food delivery people.
Yeah.
I think one of
I think they helped
boys-
themselves and that was it.
We had way too much candy.
That's incredible.
Okay. All right.
We
Do
good
you
to
guys
go?
think we're ready for some bleed blorps and bludgeons?
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
been ready.
Yeah? All right. Hi, chat room. Hi, how
That's
are
right.
you? Please be advised that we will be addressing notifications such as bits and follows and subscribers and super chats and all of that stuff at break and at the end of the stream. It's not that we don't see them and appreciate them. It's that we want to keep everybody immersed in the show and have a good time. So without further ado, please take it away. Anybody that has anything to say. Oh my God, I'm not the boss anymore.
All right. So welcome. Last time on our adventure here, our heroes or our fantastical felons were made their way into the bowels of the prison that they found themselves in after a overwhelming display of force by our friend Miggy, to show the others that they were not kidding around when it came to people trying to test their mettle. They plumbed the depths of the prison where they found a most strange sight. They found a portal to a strange other place that where they were assaulted by a variety of creatures. These small creatures that that seem to be made of the essence of the void itself. After defeating those creatures and barely escaping with their lives, they went through yet another portal, which led them to a strange laboratory which had been abandoned. In that laboratory, they found scenes of gore and carnage that were left behind by a newly minted AI that they discovered, which was then dubbed the name Dortwy by the resident booger, which it gladly accepted. Dortwy had joined the party, and you guys then found a way to rig up the yet another portal that you found. The only portal you were able to find once getting here, as there seemed to be no return portal once you poured it in. You were able to activate the portal and set it so you guys could safely travel through it. But before traveling, I believe the intention was everyone wanted to take a long rest. Maybe not in the room filled with the viscera, but in this place, which seems safe.
I do not mind the viscera. It is warm and squishy.
Like you.
We're just rolling around in it.
Oh my lord! So you guys can take a long rest. At which point your level up that you guys achieved last time will become active. Leaving the party now at level 8, and so once the long rest is finished, you guys being here has been very disorienting for like your day-night cycles. Those of you who adhere to such a cycle, as being in the prison, being completely underground, you were basically locked off from a traditional day-night cycle. We're just going based off of what the other prisoners were resting. But here you have no such people to utilize as a barometer for when you guys should be sleeping. So using the exhaustion of your bodies, you just took to rest there. Waking up the next day, everyone make me perception checks as you awaken.
Let's go.
So everyone notices upon waking up that that the place around you has been cleaned up quite a bit. A lot of the viscera has been schlepped off the floor. That you do still see the dark stains of the blood that have been caked onto the floor in different places. But it seems as though all of the stuff was moved up to the observatory deck that you saw in the back. I'll pull up the map for the players at least, so you can see what I'm talking about. In the back there, that area, sort of where all the computers are, they seem to have left all the viscera and carnage into one side, just out of the way, and you see Dortwy just sort of like finishing up its work, picking up the last of the bits that it just walks up there and just drops into the pile with the other with the rest of it. As it wipes its hands clean, it says, "I do not require rest like you. I figured I would use my time productively. I was not certain of it, but I thought perhaps this could serve as a sort of the base of operations, at least once we figure out how to travel back to where you came from." As I understand it, there is a world outside of here, but I do not know much of it. My knowledge was kept rather limited, mostly to combat enhancements, but they gave me enough understanding and perception to be able to gather some information. I was using some time to get information off the computers, and while my memory in this unit is rather limited, I understand that this connected to a prison of sorts on the other side. And from what I understand, to get back to it, we have to head through the portal that you activated. But that will not lead us directly to it. What's on the other side, I do not know for certain. If you'll have me, I would accompany you across the portal. I wish to see what's on the other side, though I will understand if that is not something you desire.
He makes an awfully good butler.
As a response, I'm just going to add him to the group chat.
You might not get all the memes that we shared, but we'll explain them to you if need be.
You are unable to.
Because he is
a robot.
Can I jerry-rig something that will take my telekinesis and turn it into like binary, essentially, like convert it over and feed it into him?
Make me a Arcana check. Off the top of your head, you can't think of anything that you might be able to do here. You have good technology here, but you'd need a little bit more time to be able to fix something up. Because the problem isn't even like that he wouldn't be able to understand the language you're speaking. It's just that you don't have a medium by which to transmit your thoughts that you would normally do to other organics. He said,
I'm gonna pull like a little like old school like light switch pulley that I've jerry rigged in my jar. It's just an angry red light to show that I'm upset.
Beautiful.
There.
Just like comfortingly spins your jar inside there.
That's touching.
Mad World by Gary Jules plays.
Before we try to go, I'd like to look at the computers one last time. I was unsuccessful in my attempts to figure out this technology. Every time that I rolled, I would like to try and maybe get information about the people who are working here, like names or records.
Go ahead and
before you do that, I can help you. I think
I need all the help I can get.
Yeah, I can cast Enhance Ability, choosing Fox's Cunning, which will give you advantage on intelligence checks for the next hour, assuming that it is an intelligence based.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that'd be an Arcana or technology. As you sort of like your people being able to mimic all these other species, you have learned how to basically use some of the other species' abilities to outside of their form, just being able to mimic it. So you use one of the Flugel's abilities to be able to spew out these pheromones that basically enhance the intellect of whoever consumes them, which will allow you to effectively give her the fox cunnings.
Imagine I just like stick a finger into Tweedor and it's just like this little liquidy whatever comes out. It's just like, here, this will make you smarter, I guess. I don't know, dude. Seems to work for them.
Absorb it.
Yeah, here, have some brain juice.
Yeah, effectively, it's like a very strong short-term stimulant that just like kicks your brain into overdrive.
Okay.
So yeah, effectively you have a Fox's Cunning, which will give you a +2 on your checks because it gives a +4 total intelligence bonus, right?
It gives advantage.
Oh, advantage. That's right. That's right.
Checks.
So then, go ahead and roll me an Arcana check at advantage.
Yeah. No.
Jeez. You are able.
Those games.
Okay. So while you're not really able to get a lot of specifics, you are able to get 2 names. You get a lead researcher, Ekrek, A-K-R-E-K, and you get the junior lead, Osel, O-S''EL.
Are you able to pull up photos of these characters?
The files do not have photos of them.
Okay.
And I'm sorry, what was the second one's name again?
Osel, O-S''EL.
Ekrek and Osel.
Anybody who would like to can make me a history check. See if they get a little bit of insight on these names.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely do that.
All right. So the both Morty and Miggy are able to determine that the name Ekrek is traditionally or Dragonian, the sort of half dragon people, and Osel is traditionally a Flugel name, which is like the big flesh sack guys.
Like Genghis Dong.
What is the name of the dragon people again?
Or Dragonians. It's spelled almost exactly how it sounds.
Or Dragonians.
Exactly. And so as you sort of like look the stuff over, you do see that the majority of the files here are heavily encoded, both mechanically encoded, like the data is encoded, and they are themselves just sort of in some sort of strange codex. The majority of the scientists are referred to by numerics. Each of them have like an 8-digit alphanumeric code assigned to them that they're referred to by, and the majority of the research here is referred to in sort of slanted and encoded language. The only reason you're able to get some of it is because you can see the end result of the research, or at least with the major form of research. So you're able to get some of the stuff. They were obviously working on some sort of AI technology. They were obviously trying to use this technology for combat purposes, but there are already effective combat droids that the Flugel creates. So you weren't really sure what they were trying to accomplish that is different than the already existing technology that exists. Never mind what would require them to come out to this completely remote place to be able to research it. AI is illegal, but they wouldn't be the only people who are currently working on AI in secret. Many of the governments of the world, though it is considered highly illegal, have some form of AI project that is in the works. So what they were researching out here that would require them to be somewhere you could only travel through a type of technology that you guys up until recently didn't know existed is very strange.
I think we've stumbled into something much bigger than we intended. I'm just trying to get the fuck out of prison, man. I ain't trying to fuck around with AI and shit.
That being said, the only way forward, as far as you guys are aware, is that portal. As far as you could tell from what you've done, it should be it should be active, and you guys should be able to step in without any harm coming to yourself, at least in theory, though you do not know what's on the other side.
And this guy can't go through it, right?
He can now. You guys actually, the last things you did was you added
Right.
So he was able to travel through it.
Okay. Then I guess we should shall we?
Absolutely.
Down.
If they were testing this technology here and doing live experiments with it, it stands to reason that they would have equipment to monitor people's medical information while it was happening, right? Can I just do a quick perception check really quick to see if I can find medical equipment on hand?
Absolutely. Go ahead.
Drugs
Perception
that
or
we might
investigation,
take,
whatever you prefer.
vaccines that we might have to take to, interdimensionally travel.
Gotcha.
You want me to do perception?
That or investigation, whichever's better for you.
Investigation is because that's an intelligence-based check.
So that'd be an advantage.
I get advantage.
So as you're looking around, you find lots of the things you would expect, things like heartbeat monitors and the various attachments that are required to use them on different life forms. Though different life forms have different sorts of life signs that dictate them, a heartbeat or something similar is a universal kind of thing that exists. That's one of the only ways to universally tell if somebody hasn't died yet. So you find a few of those. You also find these strange sort of devices that look like they attach to the subject's back. They're screwed into the subject's back, and you see these gnarly, like bloodied screws that are attached to some of them. And then they're like, it's almost like this metallic jacket that closes around the torso and puts these connections, these strange, like circular white electronic connection points that would attach on the chest and abdomen, going all the way down.
If any of it looks like safety equipment, I would want to try to like pop it together onto us. Otherwise, I'm just gonna take it with us.
And none of it seems like safety equipment. All of it
Okay.
seems like just like equipment to
Just like
track.
monitoring. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Can I stick
And
it
there's
in my
no, like-
jelly?
You absolutely can stick it in your jelly. So now you have random bits of medical equipment just sort of floating around the
I'm
the
gonna
old
add
jelly.
that to my inventory area.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Random medical equipment.
EM Tweedor.
Yeah.
We're just gonna come back to the prison and like set up like a medical bay.
Guys, we decided we're not leaving. We're actually going to improve prison conditions.
I like it here.
It
It's
is a
nice.
living.
Oh my god, you're just the fucking Flintstone joke. I can't do this.
But you can't accept a Flintstone joke being delivered by a sentient booger in your sci-fi game.
It's living.
Wow.
Oh my lord. All right,
Yeah.
so as you guys approach the this portal, you can tell that this platform is a little bit bigger. It looks like it's designed to send multiple people at a time. You can tell that it has like a delay when you click the button. It has like a 10-second delay to let you guys get onto the platform. So if you wanted to, you could all travel together, or you could travel one at a time like you did in the last couple portals.
Feel like we should probably travel together if
Okay.
given the option, right?
Yeah.
I'd say so.
So this one resembles more closely the second, more stable style of portal, but you can tell that this the first portal was like this sort of bluish fluid. The second portal was like a reddish fluid. This one is like a bright green, emerald green fluid that is sort of like very stably just sort of rotating as a sphere in the center. As you guys click press the keys on the computer and you activate the portal and you stand in place, you see that the semi solid fluid just starts like ebbing and flowing inside, and then almost in unison you see these strands just start to like flicker out of the orb, spreading directly connecting with you. And unlike the other two, which took a moment to sort of like encompass you, this is almost an immediate sensation as you guys are portaled to somewhere much worse.
Hell yeah, dude.
As you make your way to the other side, you find a very similar void to the ones you saw before, but this one is not as calm. This one is not serene. There's a constant wind whipping sound. As you look down, you see this, there seems below this void some sort of vortex, like almost like a black hole, but this hole is just emanating red light that you feel like the heat coming off of it like a star. And it, as you look around, you see that this thing is like consuming matter all around it, but for some reason these chunks of stone that float above it seem to be sort of free floating above it without being disturbed. As you appear on the other side, the two things you notice almost immediately are the portal here that is a similar color to the portal that you just left, though this one seems to be in like an active state, and you can see on the through the other side is like a blackened void that is just like looks like a very deep space, and you see looking into it is a bronze Ordragonian who continues to look intently for a couple beats after you guys arrive and you're taking in the scene before he very obviously turns to you. You see two of those strange void creatures just sort of chittering and clicking on either side of him, just sort of standing idly. They're visual receptors or whatever receptors that they have on their bodies seem to turn towards you as you appear. And the Ordragonian will call from the other side, though his call appears to be like just a slightly louder than normal orator voice. Whatever strange effect that is occurring below you seems to carry the voice a lot easier. And he says, not what I was expecting from the other side, but a welcome change of pace. So you are the four, huh? I was expecting something a little bit better, but I guess we do with what we can. So, do you know why you've come here? Are you certain of your purpose?
And technically, there's 5 of us. But
I do not regard that thing as a person.
I say
that's talking about me, right?
Yeah, it's like he's a perfectly legal cat boy.
I'm a cat man.
Legalized cat man. He says, I am not very interested in that thing. Once we finish our dealings, I'll be shoving that thing back into the portal so it can sit back where it came from. I told them that they were foolish for continuing to dabble in that sort of technology, but they were not interested. And it's not like it really matters in the grand scheme of things. So I'm assuming you're looking for an explanation, at least some sort of explanation, and you're also here seeking something else, though. I guess you'll have to tell me what that something else is, because there could be quite a many things I can offer you. So what is it? What have you come here seeking?
I seek everything, all of the time.
So, I love that. Really quick, just so you know, Eric, he's outside of range of my telepathy, so I'm relying on Tweedor's ears to pick up everything. Absolutely. I can't actually communicate with this thing.
Absolutely, yeah. So you would basically anything that you say to it would be just reflected by Tweedor.
And I think I would like to ask the party if they want to confirm that this is Akrik? Eric?
So the guy you're looking for is named Vesker. Akrik is one of the scientists from the last place.
Yeah.
Right, I assume this is...
You are here seeking another. Yeah, so you can see who this guy is if you want.
Gotcha.
But he seems to be awaiting your response. He says, "Why have you come here?"
I guess define here. If you would
Well,
be so kind.
You find yourself at the edge of a collapsing star. It is a very strange and unique experience to be able to see it for your own. But the technologies I have developed have granted me power beyond the normal mortal can. I have been able to build these facilities and utilize them to their most extreme form. I chose this particular place because a black hole does quite a number of things, but one thing it does quite well is capture light, and I can seep off that light to funnel into energy for my projects I have going on here. The facility back there was too clean for my liking, though I guess that was before you went to work, gesturing to the robot. But
he cleaned it up again, for what it's worth.
He'll snort, and you see just like a little bit of smoke will come out of his nose when he does that. And he says,
"Good boy now.
I have built these facilities, given a contract that I struck a long time ago with with our most fine warden. You see, the prison that you are in is a very easy place for me to collect my test subjects. And the governments that provide the test subjects never send anybody to check on any of the prisoners. So the dear warden simply keeps very accurate actuarial tables that he utilizes to dictate whenever the prisoners die, though it's irrelevant to him when they actually die. As far as everyone knows, this is one of the safest prisons in all of the galaxies. They don't know the true conditions. Nobody except for the prisoners make it past the front gate. And that's been useful for me because the warden doesn't care when people disappear from my experiments. So once I discovered a way to effectively work inside of the prison, I was given a near endless access to the only thing I need, which is bodies to carry out my experiments. And you four are the next in my many series of experimental creatures. I'm most intrigued by you two, gesturing to Moog and Tweedor. Your malleable forms will be most interesting to be able to operate on.
So what are you proposing?
I'm proposing nothing. I'm just telling you this because I want to give you a sense of finality, a bookend, if you will, to the very finite existence that you're going to see the end of soon. I'll be hucking you, gesturing to Miggy, into the dying star, and I will be sending you back to whatever hell you came from, gesturing to Morty.
I'm gonna distance spell broken dimensional teleportation, which is banishment. So you need to make me a save.
Absolutely. That is a wisdom saving throw.
It is a charisma saving throw.
Go ahead and throw this out here in preparation.
What's the save I'm looking for?
You're looking for a 16.
That is going to be a save from him,
okay.
And that will activate combat. He says,
I have a thing I want to say to him.
Oh, no, please, go ahead. Say your thing. We'll just say that she does it right after you say your thing.
Let me make one thing abundantly clear, little lizard man. You may think that you will be operating on me, but I will be operating on you. You will slice into my flesh, but I will forever be watching you. I am the primordial ooze, bitch.
Amazing. So with that, your activation goes out, and he will resist it, and he'll say, "Little lizard man, you have no idea what you are fooling with." And as he does that, you see
he
like
doesn't even try to be scared. I can't make him try to be scared, or I
Oh,
can't try
absolutely.
to make him be scared. Sorry.
I will hit you. Hit me with an intimidate.
Okay, thank you.
See what you got.
Can I offer assistance by turning my right leg red?
No, mostly because you were activating a spell. That's pretty good. So he actually like for a moment he like stops, and he seems to lose what he was about to say, and then he kind of shakes himself from his reverie, and he just like growls instead of trying to say anything clever. And as he does that, you see like the flesh under him like separates, and you see that just below the flesh are these metallic joints and bits that sort of like open as his flesh opens up. You see like ports with come out that are like these jet propellants that come from both his legs and arms, and they start rocketing up as he begins to levitate. And then we will move into initiative. So boom.
Dan always crushes the initiative rolls.
Eric, can you put
Well,
my
we all did great this time, dude.
Hold
Right?
on.
Oh, yeah,
Oh, hell yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I think that's pretty fucking good.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just change that really quick.
Bork that initiative roll there, buddy. Everyone on the initiative, that looks like everyone. So, just one thing. Boom. So Morty's going to be first. So as you see here, the area ahead of you, if you're trying to get over to that guy, is broken platform. So while the jumps themselves are not that big, the gravity here is very strange. So to get across, you're going to need to make me some acrobatics or athletics checks, your preference.
Can I
Absolutely.
fling people across?
You certainly can.
Like, can I be like assisting people as they go? I guess.
I'm gonna say before your turn, you can spend your action on your turn to basically say, I'm gonna sit here kind of like waiting for people to come, and you can fling them as they go. So you wouldn't be able to help Morty, but you could use your action to help Moog over next turn on his turn.
Sure.
If you wanted to.
Sorry, Dan.
It's all right. I got a +10 for my acrobatics. So
Okay, I think you don't need me much.
I'm a swashbuckler. All right.
Yeah.
This is what I'm born to do.
Okay.
So where would you like to move?
So I'm gonna use feline agility. So I'm gonna be moving pretty far.
Hell yeah.
So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So this will be the first stop I make.
Okay.
And then
so
I'm
you
gonna
just
travel.
need one athletics check for that. Not athletics, acrobatics check for that whole movement there, and that's perfectly fine. You definitely run over, and you do the first leap and just kick off using the momentum of this strange gravity that you're still just kind of getting used to.
I do like a one-handed cartwheel over.
Yeah, and you're just like you flip it and dive in over these rocks with ease, and so that is part one. Where are you going for your second shot there?
So do there look like there's any like broken pillars or big boulders that I could hide behind?
Absolutely. There's like over here, this area is like a decently high wall you could duck behind, while he's sort of distracted with the others. And you could also hide over here. There's a bunch of debris sort of floating around this island that you can duck around.
Okay. Yeah, I think I would go down to like this island here and then use my bonus action to hide.
Absolutely. So you'll make me one more acrobatics check and then go ahead and make your stealth check. Yeah, perfectly fine.
And stealth.
Not that great, but still. Morty, you see, flips over the various bits of debris, making his way gracefully over to this side before diving out of sight on this island, sort of shrouded by a bunch of random rock debris. And is that the end of your turn?
Yeah, that'll be the end of it.
Absolutely, which will pass turn to Tweedor.
I'm gonna use my action to help people across.
Absolutely. So
You want to biff me over there? I can. That's fine.
Do you want me to just throw you instead of like assist you?
Yeah, fuck it.
So if you want to throw him, what you're going to be doing is basically making an athletics check to hawk him.
I'd like to rage first and
Absolutely.
say, hit me.
Where would you be trying to toss him? Your safest bet is right
into the center of the fucking star. I'm
just
kidding.
right here, right here.
Ish.
So here is going to be a little bit more difficult. You could do here. That's probably the safest way.
I'm not getting your ping.
Do you see the arrow? I don't know. It should be showing you the
I
arrow,
think
but
it's hidden from us.
oh, I was on the GM layer. I'm an idiot. So here's the safest place, just because that's the shortest distance.
Okay, I see.
And that's already connected, so it'd be easy for him to get.
Okay, sure.
Get it from there.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Let's do that.
Okay, so go ahead and make me an athletics check. That'd be at advantage since you're raging.
I'm sorry, I'm fuging out.
Oh yeah, that's right. You're fuging out.
Oh, and don't forget to roll your D8 because you're a magic.
Yes, that's right.
Ooh,
You're
yeah.
You have to roll
are
off your,
right. Should we do that first?
yes, please.
You have to, I think. Yeah.
As soon as you activate it. So
It's a one.
What does that mean?
each creature of your choice that is within 30 feet of you must succeed on a Constitution saving throw or take 1d12 necrotic damage. You
It
also
does
gain
not
temporary
matter.
hit points. Well, you do gain temporary hit points equal to 1d12 plus your barbarian level.
That's
That's
pretty
sick.
cool.
That
Okay,
matters.
I'll do that in a
That's
minute.
nice.
First, let's do this.
Absolutely.
Athletics, you said?
Athletics at advantage, that's correct.
Let's go.
Absolutely. So you grab him and just sort of spin around, kind of like a one of those guys doing the shot put, just swing around and then your big booger arms just stretch out and then release as Moog, very probably none too happily, gets hucked across this void. It's very strange sensation. Like as you're turning around, the gravity seems to keep changing around you, and you're not even really able to navigate it that well because you're just being hucked. But by the grace of whatever creator made this place, you get dumped onto the rock on the other side, just barely able to. Actually, make me a acrobatics check. See if you keep your feet.
Me? Okay.
No,
Oh, that's pretty good, actually.
Yeah, so you're able to poof, and you kind of land a little bit stumbled, but other than that, you are not prone or anything.
Oh. Okay. Suck.
And so, I think Moog is actually first because Mickey's dex is crap, from what I understand. So,
Also, Doxy, are you moving at all, or you're just standing where you are?
yeah, that was only your action.
I can still jump then?
You could still move yourself. That is correct.
Fuck yeah, bud. Let's do it.
Wee.
Except for I want to stay relatively far away from them, so I want to jump to the same place.
Well, you would be able to go that far anyways because you're still limited by your movement. But you would still be able to get over there. get at least a decent way there. What's your movement speed right now?
40,
I think you have a 40.
But I
Yeah.
think that it's higher when I'm raging, though.
Let me see, barbarian. So
Oh,
you get the fast movement unless
yeah.
your path has another bonus.
Yeah, it's just the fast movement that I got, so I'm silly. Never mind. That's my fault.
Also, you we did say that you could have the optional stuff. So since you're 7th level, as part of the bonus action, when you enter rage, you can move up to half your speed.
Sick. Okay.
So you can get a half of it. You can get 20 feet in, then you have another 40 feet of movement if you want.
Okay. So it's so. How am I gonna be doing this while running and jumping though?
So basically,
throwing?
I imagine what you're doing is like as you grab him and you start fuging out, you just like you're spinning around in a circle like Mario 64 with Bowser.
Definitely.
As you're doing that, you're kind of like you jump off to the next platform. As you do that, you huck Moog over to the platform he inevitably lands on.
Yeah.
And then if you want to make me another athletics check at advantage for yourself, that will show how well you navigate.
Okay. I think that's perfect.
17 is admirable, so you will be able to move up to this first half without any harassment. So you have basically 60 foot of movement that you want to do. So if you want to move past this area here, past this area over there, you'll have to make another athletics check. It will still be an advantage. Absolutely. And that will be more than satisfactory. So you can go ahead and finish your movement off.
Yeah, I want to go this way. I don't want to go this way. Is that possible?
So you want to go
down here? I want to go. Yeah, I want to go.
Yeah, if you want, you can basically just like jump here, and then jump here, and then go here, if you wanted to. Aaron, that way you'll end up over there.
How's your magic from over here, from the jump that I just made?
I can do stuff from anywhere on this map, so don't you worry.
Okay. I think that we will spend this round just being here and not push our luck too much.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
My bad. Dorothy was supposed to go first. Not first, but after Morty.
I feel like if you roll a 20, you should automatically be first in line in the fucking initiative order.
I kind of like the way that that Scott does it. He gives you an extra like action if you roll a 20.
Oh, that's fun. Yeah, that is nice.
Which is
I think Scott's really creative like that.
Yeah. He also has a very handsome younger brother, but that's neither here nor there.
I've heard.
You lose your action if you roll 1.
Yeah.
Is the opposite.
I'm okay with that. I think that's fun.
Definitely fun, and we can to wholesale steal that. I can legally do that because he's my brother. I don't actually know the legal stuff behind that, but I think I can do that.
Okay.
No, it's true.
So is that the end of your turn, Tweedor?
Yeah, I'm gonna hang out here for now. We've taken a bunch of actions. Let's go.
So before you go, Moog, we're going to have Dortwy take his turn. And he is just going to start heading over. He like looks over, sees you guys jumping into action, and just sort of instinctively starts making his way over. Can he make that? So it's 30. He make it right there. And then you see as he like sort of jumps across each thing, instead of having to be graceful about it, you see he has like little rocket boosters built into his feet that just sort of course correct whenever he starts getting off kilter a little bit. And so he'll just like run full pace and just land next to you. And as you do, you see his arms open up and these whirring chains and spikes and blades just start like spinning up. as he looks at you and he says, "Do we kill him?" Just sort of asking Tweedor, given that he had the most connection with Tweedor. And with that, it's going to go to Moog's turn. You don't have to give an answer quite yet.
Okay.
This is going to be a very simple turn. I'm going to use all my movement to go here and stand on the edge of this fucking pit.
Mm-hmm. So basically, it's like it's like a portal, but this is like a portal open to like a black void. So it looks almost like a gate, what you would imagine a gate would. It's like this open space in this open area in space that leads to just a completely different section that you have no idea where it is.
It's beneath us, right?
Yeah,
like
it's like
go down
exactly.
into it.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to cast Thorn Whip, targeting this man.
Absolutely.
Which I think, yeah, he's exactly within range of that. So that's an attack roll, I think, right? Yeah, it is an attack roll. Cool. That is a 17.
17 is a hit.
Okay. So he's going to take 4 points of damage.
Absolutely.
I also need him to wait.
If the attack hits, the creature takes. If it's large,
He
just
doesn't
pull.
make a save. So
Nope.
I'm just going to pull him 10 feet towards me.
As you sort of like grab him and pull him into you, you see he like come to the very edge of the of this thing, like with you grabbing onto him. He's like sort of hanging over the edge of this endless void underneath him. So he wasn't pulled all the way into the portal, but he's like dangling on the edge of it.
I guess also for what it's worth, my Thorn Whip, I just kind of like reach out as if I'm going to punch him, and my arm just kind of morphs into like a tentacle that just reaches or flies out.
I love
and
it.
Grabs him, pulls him a little bit. Yeah.
And is that the end of Moog's turn?
I think so, yeah.
Well, Miggy, it's you.
I'm not technically allowed to do this, but I'm gonna ask because I have to. Can I use distance spell on a feat and not a spell?
Can you what?
I have metamagic distance spell, which is me double the range or
Okay.
something. Can I use that for my telepathy feat, for my telekinetic feat?
I'm fine with it.
Okay, cool. Because we're gonna pull him 5 more feet towards us as a bonus action.
Absolutely. It's a
Nice.
strength saving throw.
Nice.
Strength saving throw.
Yeah. So as you like reach out and you pull him closer, he like was hanging on the edge, and then he just and then like he looks at you for a moment. It's almost cartoonish, but also kind of terrifying because you see the actual literal gravity of the situation as he's sort of hanging over this void for like half a second before like whatever strange forces of gravity kick in, and they don't pull him they don't actually like pull him into whatever this portal is. You see him like sucked into almost like a singularity, and he disappears.
The before, the after, the primordial ooze, bitch.
Very cool.
Then for my action, I am going to telekinetically take one of these rocks. I'm going to bump that up to a 3rd level spell. So 15-pound rock that's floating over here, and I'm going to chuck it at one of these guys. Shoo.
Absolutely. So that's do you make an attack roll, or is it a dexterity saving throw from him?
It is a dexterity saving throw.
Right, so 11 is a fail, so that's a hit.
Excellent. So it's going to be 5d8.
Oof.
Damn. That's
You huck this boulder and it goes banging off of this thing's chitinous flesh, but you hear it like crack and you see it literally like part of its flesh is like indented in from the damage. And it starts seeping like this black gelatinous ooze from underneath it. Its strange chitinous scales. And it lets out that horrifying screech that you heard the other ones to make when you dealt damage to it. And yeah, Miggy, is that the end of your turn? Pretty successful turn, all things considered.
I'd say so. Catapult is such a dope spell.
It's such a dope spell, and the range is better than I thought because the range is 60 feet, but it's 60 feet to the object that you're throwing. The object can then fly an additional 90 feet.
So would you be able to do that? Because isn't your telekinetic?
That's a bonus action.
It's a bonus action? Where is it?
It's a bonus action. It is the very last part of it. As a bonus action, you can try to telekinetically shove one creature you can see within 30 feet of you.
I see it.
You just dispelled to make that 60.
Absolutely. So yeah, you go ahead and huck that boulder, and this thing that pretty much fucks that thing up. In one strike, you bloodied it. Which will be the end of Miggy's turn, which will lead us to the first Voidling, which kind of like after taking that blow from the rock, it sort of shakes it off, and it's going to skitter up to Moog here and strike out at him. So this thing is going to try to bite you. That is likely a hit. Your AC right now is 13.
It is 13 right now, yeah.
So that is a hit, and it's going to hit you for 18 points of damage, 9 piercing, 9 necrotic, if that matters.
Okay.
As this thing reaches out and strikes you with its mouth, and it spews out that same sort of fluid that it seems to be bleeding that burns to the touch. And that's the end of its turn. Next is going to be a creature you guys didn't see before, as another one of these scuttles over the rock that you guys just came from. 10. It will then like settle itself down and then push itself off the ground, and you see it like almost riding the current of this ever-changing gravity in such a way as to very efficiently thrust itself over here. But that is a double move for it, so unfortunately that will be the end of its turn, which will pass turn to.
Unfortunate.
We'll pass the turn to the last of these voidlings in sight, which is also going to move up and bite Moog. This is going to be attack. That is another hit, and that's 16 points of damage you're taking there, Moog. As this thing also bites onto you. As you guys are sort of standing there, you make me a perception check, everyone but Moog.
But Moog.
Eric, really quick. This creature did enter Mallory's range, and she does have Sentinel and Polar Master, so she should have gotten an attack of opportunity. It was like right here in open air.
That's true.
And I'm just saying, if it gets hit, his speed drops to 0.
Okay.
That's true.
I think it's an open air.
You're gonna like Dikembe Mutombo just fucking slam him out of the Yeah.
Absolutely. Go ahead and hit me with an attack of opportunity there.
Oh.
A 15 is a hit. Why were you at advantage there?
I don't know.
All right, so you can go ahead and re-roll at
Sorry.
no advantage. No, no worries.
Sorry.
It's because you had advantage from before. It doesn't matter. Still hit. Yeah. So go ahead and
What?
Classic. Worked when I did it apparently. So 11 points of damage. So as you strike it, it would have been struck here. As you strike this thing and hit it, you're currently grabbing onto it. But I'm assuming you're not going to grapple it because you're just going to try to stop its motion and let it fall, I'm assuming. Or do you want to grab it where it is? Because you can just grapple it instead, because that is your ability, because you hit it.
Shall I throw it into the star, Miggy?
I will point out the last time you saw one of these do it, you saw it was able to course correct when it
that's
fell.
what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. Into the hole.
So you just want to grapple it then?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're holding this thing basically over the edge right now. And that is as you guys are standing there.
You just hear it smack into my boogery flesh. Oh, it's so gross.
Morty, you're the first to know this. Some sort of strange occurrence in space happening here, like wavy lines, almost like when you're seeing a mirage, where everything just looks distorted and wavy, coming from this location here, and it takes you a moment before you realize it, and it's too late by then, that very quickly a portal opens up that you see your Ordragonian friend being an inoperative word, pop out of the portal and just sort of stumble onto the rock as he clever bastards. Unfortunately, this is a game I'm in control of. But unfortunately, that is going to be his entire turn to do that, which will bring us to Morty.
All right. I think that I'd update the group chat and let everyone know that he's over here. And then I'm going to jump on over. And I'm going to try to shove him off again.
Absolutely, yeah. So that would be opposed athletics with him.
I mean, would I be able to argue that I'm using my fancy footwork as a swashbuckler and it'd be acrobatics?
I'm going to say no for that, because this is basically, unless you're going to try to go for like a trip or something like that.
If I can still send him over the edge, yeah. It's kind of what I was imagining.
Go ahead. What you're going to do then, why don't you, I didn't mean to roll initiative for them, why don't you go ahead and make me an attack roll then against him. Basically, you're going to try to hit him, and then you can make your acrobatics versus his athletics.
Okay. I'll just do my claw attack then.
Absolutely. 19 is going to do it, so go ahead and make me your acrobatics.
I think I'm going to use a lucky point just to...
Absolutely.
Make it better. Yeah, that'll do it.
That'll do it. That'll do it.
You actually didn't need to even do that because he rolled a 9. So as he like steps out from the void and he looks up at you, this big shit-eating grin on his face, you just step out. Well, he actually wasn't looking at you. He was looking at Tweedor. He didn't even notice you at first. You sort of step behind your cover and just sweep the leg right under him, and he just like a fucking like a
not today,
a
Daniel-san.
Yeah, you just sweep his ass off of the cliff, where he goes sailing down into the void, and you see him press something on his arm, and you see a portal open up below him that he gets sucked into and closes behind him, disappearing again.
How humiliating for him.
This guy just doesn't get it.
We don't even know you.
You don't even go
You
here.
don't go here.
All right, Morty. So that was your action and some of your movement. Did you want to move any more?
Yeah, let's see, 'cause that was 10. I'll use the rest of my movement to go here, and then my bonus action to dash up to Moog.
I would say because of how excellent your acrobatics was, you don't even have to worry about making any other checks for that. You just, going off the momentum of that very cool moment, you're able to just bound it with endless energy over to meet up with Moog and hopefully help defend him.
I'm like running. I'm like, oh, I can't wait to tell him what I did. It was so good.
The Dortwee looks over at you, Tweedor. He says, "You got this. Your friends look they need help." And with that, he will bound. So that's 30 feet. Does
High
he have
five, Dortwee.
as you walk by, he'll
We
just
do
like
a sick high five as
his
he,
arm will it starts jumping before you say that, but he'll his top half of his body will turn and his arm will extend just to very very tap the end of your your little arm appendage.
Oh, and
As
you,
he
you can
drops down.
stretch. You guys can high five from so far away.
And as he
That's
steps
sick.
over, you this would be a terrifying display if he wasn't on your team. But you see his arms like the spinning metal. He just like sort of like does like this motion, and you see all of those metal like appendages just extend out to give him reach. And he just starts swinging wildly with these at these creatures. So he gets to make 2 attacks. Oh my god. What a fucking boner kill.
That is too
So
bad.
that's 2 misses. He rolled a freaking 3 and a 4.
He was just trying
Yeah.
to show off for Tweedor. It's okay.
Yeah.
Like, it looked really cool, and next time he's gonna hit.
As he
I'm
sort of
going
like
to say,
swings with his creature.
actually, as a matter of fact, I'm gonna look at him and I'm gonna say, I am proud of you.
For most people, they wouldn't have been able to tell this just because as a robot, he doesn't have a whole lot of expression. But as a creature whose expression is done with like non-visual cues, you get the sense, like a vibe off of him that he really appreciated that. Yeah. So he 2 swings, 2 misses, unfortunately, but that does bring us to Tweedor's turn.
Okay. Did Miggy get to go last round?
Yes,
Okay.
Miggy did a lot last round.
He
Okay. My
fucking
bad.
threw that dude
It
in the
just-
portal and then
Duh,
It just-
yeah,
yeah,
I'm so
the head of that other
dumb.
dude with a rock.
Sorry,
It's-
yeah.
The turns have just been it was kind of an action-packed first turn, so it
It
felt like a lot of
was.
stuff.
It super was. Okay. Would I be able to make that in a single jump right there?
Yeah, with the high enough athletics, absolutely.
Would I be able to make that? Yes, then, right?
Yes,
All right.
absolutely.
Well, first, I'm gonna hook this this motherfucker into the star. I
Okay,
get to
so-
do both. I get to throw and jump, right?
Yep, because that'd be action then move. So
Okay.
what you're gonna do for me here is basically you're gonna be doing opposed athletics with this thing
Okay.
because it's basically gonna try to resist you and keep it within some sort of gravitational pull, and you're just trying to huck it hard enough that it's gonna get sucked into the star before it gets caught in any other gravitational
Do I
fields.
still have advantage against this thing? I feel like I
You-
wouldn't have advantage against this guy.
Even if you didn't, it's a strength-based save. It is a check, and you are raging, so you have advantage on it.
Okay, I'll do it.
That's the way of the barbarian, baby.
Nice.
Oh, that's funny. It was close to actually getting it, even though it doesn't have a whole lot of strength. It was close. It got a 21.
Oh,
But,
yeah, if I had
close
rolled
only
just the
counts in
19.
horseshoes and hand grenades. So, boom. As you sort of like reach back and you huck this thing, you see it trying to orient itself and like catch like a gravitational pull that will get it back to going towards it. But by the time it gets that, you see it caught in the gravity well of this black hole, and it just once it gets sucked in, it just gone, disappeared. Won't even need to exit. It's just gone.
Okay, so and now I'm gonna try to jump to that square if that's okay.
Absolutely.
And I can use athletics to jump.
Yes, ma'am.
Excellent.
Hell yeah.
Oh, the perfect advantage roll.
Because
Yeah,
you
the
got that,
perfect
I will let
roll.
you jump up to double your normal movement speed if you would like to.
I don't want to, but I appreciate you throwing me that bone for a die well roll.
The duality of man.
But I am gonna move to here.
Absolutely.
Wait, no. Wait, okay, but if I go into here, I will definitely go inside of this star.
Yes.
Okay? Dang,
You know
I
what?
can't get
no,
to a place.
that would be safe. I made it safe for him for consistency's sake. The edge, the ones that are not fully immersed in the portal, I would say are safe. You just you're in danger of getting pushed in. Basically, you're like tiptoeing the line before hitting this thing. So it's up to you if you would like to do that still. Because I made that top space safe for him, so
I want to pull this
gotta be
one
consistent.
into next to him. I want to pull him in with my boogie hooks.
Yeah. So if you
like
hit
told
him,
a
if you're
bad joke on stage.
if you attack him and grapple him, then you are able to move him
Okay.
at half your speed.
Okay.
So you hold on one second. You used your action to hook the thing. You move, so you won't be able to do that this turn. But
Okay.
you are now in position
Okay,
to
so
do
I
that.
can't use my extra attack if I didn't attack the first action point.
No, because the it wasn't really an attack. You were literally like doing
yeah.
a opposed athletics
That's
to hook
fair.
that guy.
Okay. All right. Then I yield my turn.
Absolutely, which will bring us to Moog.
Okay. I mean, we're all assuming that guy is coming back again, right?
Yes.
Yeah. All right, then I'm not going to attack this turn. I am going to cast a spell, though. I'm going to cast Polymorph on myself. And the form I choose is that of a Tyrannosaurus Rex. I don't know what that looks like as an alien, but I
That
will
looks
let
like
you take that away.
you literally could just be like, I saw a human textbook one time, and I'm just making my approximation of what a Tyrannosaurus Rex looks like. Or you could say it's some sort of alien form. You know what? Let's have fun with it. The lichen, the that sort of species that likes to take over other beasts, have large sort of lizard creatures that were native to their species, their planet for a while, and they died off many generations ago. However, they were reinvigorated by the Flugel as a combat vessel, effectively for the lichen. And so basically, it looks like this giant mushroom-esque Tyrannosaurus Rex. So its head, it almost looks like a fucking clicker from The Last of Us. If anybody knows what I'm talking about, it's just these big, gross, like mushroom heads.
If you want to drag out a T-Rex,
I absolutely. Do you need the Tyrannosaurus Rex?
I do need a stat block. Yeah, if you can give me access.
Can I spell Tyrannosaurus Rex? We're all gonna find out today. Yes, I can.
Hell yeah,
Hey, baby.
Every time somebody makes a joke that they can't spell, for some reason I always want to spell Mississippi. Like, you know how little kids, when they learn how to say it to that rhythm? Yeah. Sorry, anyway. That was a tangential thought. Go, please.
So I don't super have a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
I can get one really quick if you want to move on. And I'll
just send me the token when you got it. I will
It'll take me 2
first
seconds.
just really quickly assign this to you. And I'll fix it so it's not doing the weird things. Doesn't vanish toggle, never whisper. All right, cool. So you should have that and be all set.
Beautiful.
Just ping me the token, and I'll add it in a second. So that will be the end of your turn, Moog, which will bring us to Vox's turn, which this is Vox, correct? Yeah, so this creature, seeing this large thing before it, also is just going to sort of instinctively attack the big thing. And so it's going to be swinging at Moog still. Moog's new AC is 13 still, so that's easy to remember.
Still the same, yeah.
Easy to remember. Actually, this one's going to... I need dexterity saving throws from Morty and Moog in your new form, as it is going to hit you with its void breath. And
you
then,
need a dex
yeah,
saving
dex
throw,
saving
so-
throw from that's correct.
Easy.
All right, so Moog is going to save. Unfortunately, Morty is not.
I think I might use another lucky point just to
Absolutely.
try this out.
Go ahead.
Oh,
Oh.
no.
Not so lucky.
Yeah,
Oh,
not
wow.
so lucky a point, unfortunately. So good news is you're only taking 15 points of damage. The
I
bad
got
news
evasion,
is
so I'll take half.
yeah, that's right. So you'll just take half of that, and Moog, you will take half of that as well. So just 7 for each of you, as it lets out this burst of this liquid, this burning liquid that sort of it's less of a burn like a fire, more like an acid burn as it like consumes bits of your flesh. And that is going to be that creature's turn, which will bring us to Mickey's turn.
I'm glad you described what that looked like because you said void breath and didn't elaborate, like it wasn't complete and utter nonsense words.
Yeah, that's true. I did
So-
initially do that.
I
Here's a
am
token.
going to use my telekinesis to pull this one 5 feet towards me. So he has to make a strength saving throw.
Strength saving throw. 1 second. Oof, yeah, that's a failure.
Okay.
So this one is going. That's basically what you're trying to do, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
So as this thing is pulled over this void area, something rather unexpected happens. Rather than it sort of falling through like its companion did, it seems invigorated by whatever this thing is, and it just sort of floats gracefully over it, but also grows in size as it sort of like is filled with this void energy that enters its body and literally builds it up in sides, and it lets out a terrifying roar as that happens.
Tweeter, don't throw it in the hole. Mistakes were made.
The hard way it is. I like the hard way.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, the fun way.
I'm just gonna grab a rock up to 15 pounds and I'm gonna throw it at him.
I made a mistake. Just throw the rock. Throw the rock.
Throw the rock.
And
It is a third level
is-
spell.
And it's once again a dexterity saving throw.
Mhm.
That is a 14. It's a 16 it needed, right?
16.
Yeah, so that's a hit.
Excellent. Let me roll those dice.
And,
What the fuck is that? Okay,
that's
that's Josiah. That's a friendly.
Okay.
Yeah, don't worry, everything's fine.
That does not look like a T-Rex to me.
That's what this T-Rex looks like.
It's a big fungus man.
Okay.
It's totally a T-Rex.
Okay.
Look, when you don't have custom artwork for everything and you're doing some weird sci-fi bullshit, sometimes you have to make concessions.
All right. So that's 13 points of damage you do to it as you strike it. The thing bounces. Unlike the last time where it like did like a devastating blow, this seems to bounce off of it. Though it does definitely seem to deal damage. But that is the end of Miggy's turn.
Mm-hmm.
And then next is Biggin, which is going to attack Tweedor, and it's going to finally be able to use its pack tactics, so it gets advantage on this this bite. So Tweedor's, so that is a hit. So that's 17 plus an additional. Seven. So that is 11, 18, 24 points of damage in total. It's that is 11 piercing and 13 necrotic, which I believe only the piercing is halved for you because you went the wild mage. So you get 5 damage from the piercing and then 13 damage from the necrotic. 18 in total for that. Okay, and that's its bite move. I'm gonna use my bite move.
I'm
and
so
that's
sorry. Wait, was that me that took that damage?
that is you that took that damage.
I'm
So in total,
so sorry.
after what you get, you reduce from your rage. You're taking 18 points of damage.
Okay, thank you.
And so that is going to be Radio's turn. At which point you see once again. Now you guys are familiar with what it looked like. See out of the corner of your eyes as the portal begins to open right here, and your old buddy, your old pal, is going to pop out of a portal here. But as he pops out, you see he has these like rocket attachments on him, just ignited, and you see that in his time that he's gone, his features have become more and more cybernetic as his face has like popped open in different sections, extending, and you see like several sensory devices like implanted in him. But also, most terrifyingly, you see he now has a laser rifle that he's holding. But that is also going to be his whole last turn. And next is going to be Morty.
I'm just going to look at him and be like, how many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man? And then I'm just going to stab the little monster dude in front of me.
Absolutely. That is a definitive hit. 7, and you will get your sneak attack on this. So it's 19 points of damage, which will finish this thing off. As you skewer this thing, it lets out a sort of like dying gasp as this weird viscous fluid forms out of it, and you kind of huck it, and it goes tumbling into the void. Luckily, that does not. It being deceased seems to have stopped it from being invigorated by this void.
Nice. I'm just gonna wipe the blade off and just look at him and shake my head.
Which is that the end of your turn? Would you like
That'll
to move
be the end of my turn.
All right. So after Morty's turn is going to be our friend Reaper, who's or Dortwy, who's going to step up here, and I believe that puts him in range. Yes. And he's going to once again try to strike this creature. There we go. Those are 2 strikes. So boom. That's 22 points of damage it's going to do to this creature as it this just shredding bits of metal. He just strikes out with these like some of them chains, some of them just like knives, just all attached to this like whirring death saucer that he's producing from either of his hands. And so that's 1. All right. And this creature still hasn't even been bloodied yet, as it lets out yet another roar from the striking that you're doing to it. But that is going to be the end of our friend Dortwy's turn, which will pass us to Tweedor.
All right.
Tweedor,
Fuck him up.
we should try to move to the other side. For when that thing uses its void breath, so it's not going to hit the whole party.
Okay. I'm going to do that without leaving its threatened area.
Which you can do. It's you can just do that. Yeah.
And you know what? Let's just fucking hit the guy, hey?
Yeah.
Let's just
The
hit
old
him.
1-2.
Yeah. Show him what for. Whoa.
11 is not going to do it, unfortunately.
Okay, but I
It does
can
have a
try
reduced
again.
AC because it's big, but not that reduced.
Go again though. Yeah.
Yes, please. The 17 is going to do it. That is a hit.
Get hit,
The
fucker.
12 points of damage, and I imagine you will be grappling it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So you reach out with your appendage and strike this thing as you sort of consume part of its body, grabbing hold of it. Which will is that the end of Tweedor's turn?
Am I? No. Yeah, that is the end of Tweedor's turn. Thank you.
Excellent. Which will pass us to Moog. Moog is up.
He's not. Is he restrained by you? He's just grappled. Right?
Just grappled.
Okay.
You can come and fuck him up if you want.
The first thing I'm going to do, no matter what, is standing where I am now. I'm going to make a tail attack against this man. So you just see this big prehensile tail in the back come up and prepare to slam down in his general direction. So that's going to be a 22 to hit.
Yeah, absolutely a strike.
Which is going to be 16 bludgeoning damage.
Which will bring it to bloodied, but it still remains up after that devastating strike from your large fungal tail.
So my next question is, I have a move speed of 60 right now. If I want to get over to this rock, what would I have to make on an athletics check to make that jump? So I'd be jumping from like here to here, basically. It's a 30-foot jump.
So I've always allowed interchangeable between athletics and acrobatics, whichever is preferable for you. But that is something with a running start. I would say would you need to make a 16 to do so completely safely. If you don't make the check, depending on how bad you fail by, that will determine next steps.
Because what I want to do is do that and make a bite attack at this man while I'm in the air. Like,
I will allow it.
That's so cool.
I'll allow that. Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know what I just rolled. I rolled initiative.
You
That's
rolled
not what I
initiative.
wanted to roll.
a power move, but not exactly what you were looking for.
Yeah.
I think you should make an intimidation check. Is all I'm saying.
So let's.
Intimidating him by being by having.
That's a
great
16
Nice.
exactly.
That's perfect. So you will safely be able to travel over there and go ahead and make me a bite attack.
Okay. So while we're in the air, we're gonna try to bite his ass.
Bite his ass.
21 hit.
21's a definite hit. Yeah.
So this is going to be a bunch of damage, but what's really cool about the T-Rex's stat block is that any creature that's medium or smaller that I bite is automatically grappled and restrained.
Yep, so he's coming with you.
So I literally just run up, take like a big running start, snort some spores everywhere, charge, jump off the cliff, and as I go by, just huge jaws clamp around this man. And he is going to take 23 points of piercing damage, and he is grappled and
Jesus
restrained.
ass, man.
Yeah, gotta hate that.
What a good move. That was a good turn.
So
This
you
combat's been
bite
sick.
into this creature. You bite into this thing as you jump over. As you bite it between your you get it between your teeth, which are these strange like bits of chitin that are like made of very like dense fungal bits of fungus. You can tell that even though you're biting into him, you can feel some flesh, but a lot of his insides seem to be metallic. And so, is that the end of Moog's turn?
That is the end of my turn, yeah.
Well, Miggy, you're up.
I think I still want to do this even though you have him restrained, because I don't. I'm gonna try the banishment again.
Yeah. So,
I'm gonna have to distance spell it.
Okay. So that is charisma save.
It's a charisma save, yes.
Get him out of here.
He nat 20'd that, so that is a fail, unfortunately.
I think the way I'm flavoring this, by the way, is I'm playing with all the random tech and bullshit that we grabbed from that lab, and I'm playing around with like interdimensional travel, but it doesn't quite work yet.
You're kind of using your own knowledge of like basic interdimensional travel that you use with whatever you've been able to pick up from the portals that you've seen. So you're kind of trying to put it together, but you can also tell that this guy is pretty practiced with the whatever technology you're working with, so he's been able to counteract your effects so far.
An interesting point, though, and something we may want to consider if we get stuck here. If we are in a different dimension, different plane, this will send us back to our native one. So worst case scenario, we can just spend a couple days here, and I will slowly get us home.
Okay.
Absolutely. So that is Miggy's turn. Okay. So after it's going to be our boy here, who Miggy pretty much called it, but unfortunately Miggy only made her and her companion targets, as it is going to breathe this void breath over Tweedor and Miggy, who will both need to make me dexterity saving throws.
Okay.
Ugh. Hate to see
I'm
that.
just a brain in the jar.
And Tweedor, you can make your Constitution saving throw to take half of Miggy's damage. That is it. That is a success. That's the first time. You only need to do a 10. So you are both taking some damage here. So that's 24 damage, which will be halved for Miggy to 12. But that also will make the damage to Tweedor 36 points of damage.
You know what? I will activate my magical item really quick. My
Absolutely.
Phasing Jar.
Okay.
So let me roll that die.
Do it.
I activate it, but once again, it's too slow, and I still take the damage.
Yes, you do. So 12 going to Miggy, 36 to Tweedor.
Okay, but also the 36 is halved because I'm raging, right?
No, because this is necrotic damage,
Okay.
and you only get
wow.
yeah. That's a harsh hit.
That's a big hit.
Okay.
That's a big damage roll. Big DM damage roll.
So as this thing breathes on you, you can also tell that the breath here is not any more powerful, but it did definitely hit us a larger area than it normally would. But that is going to be the end of that thing's turn, just because it is grappled and it's not trying to go anywhere. Next is going to be our friend who is restrained, which
Escape DC 17.
17. All right. Doesn't want to escape. I just need
That's a
to
good
check
question.
one thing about restrained here. Okay, boom. Restrained. Attack at advantage, disadvantage. Okay. So that doesn't affect casting. So he's as you like have him in your jaws, he says, as he starts to speak, and you can hear the voice is like has this metallic ting to it. It has like the sound of like something coming out of a voice box rather than like a creature's vocal cords, as it says, "You will drown in the void. Your last moments will be being crushed into nothingness inside the cold, empty core of a dying star." And he actually stabs one of his arms onto like one of your teeth, and as it does, it spews out liquid nitrogen into your mouth. And he's going to cast Cone of Cold.
Hell yeah. Do I have to make a saving throw?
That will be a Constitution saving throw.
Oh,
And that's
sick.
Didn't roll anything. Good job.
Yeah,
Really
isn't your
nailed that one. Roll
constitution,
20.
like crazy right now.
Right now, it's
Yeah,
gonna be-
not normally.
Oh, there
but
we
as
go.
a T-Rex, it is. I'm not proficient still, but a +4 is better.
Oh, and a
Yes,
cold is a
+6
big
health.
boy spell, though.
It sure
Yeah,
is.
that's a fail, and you're taking 42 points of cold damage.
Oh, I jinxed
Oh.
you.
Okay. That's okay.
Good news is he's pretty strong.
I have 136 health as a T-Rex.
So that was his action. He can't really make a movement given that that he is restrained by you. But yeah, that is going to be his turn. It make me a perception check. Just Moog.
God, imagine the brain freeze having Cone of Cold cast in your mouth up against a tooth.
Right?
Yeah,
Ugh, that
that's
sounds
definitely unpleasant.
awful.
All right, so you do not notice anything out of the ordinary, other than the fact that you're biting a robot man in your mouth. So, other
Hell
than
yeah.
everything
everything that's in the situation, you don't notice anything out of the ordinary.
Okay.
Um,
Very cool. Very cool. Very.
But that is going to be the end of his turn. Pass turn to Morty.
All right. I'm just going to gingerly step around the void here and just delicately stab this beast right with my crystalline saber.
How delicately.
Very, very gingerly ending its.
I'm like lining
life.
up a putt, just like
Like a fucking pool cue, just like.
exactly.
16's gonna do it.
9, 17.
And once again, Morty, with a death stab into this creature, you've killed a bunch of these things. I think you killed like all 3 of the last one with the killing
So,
blow
yeah.
on them. So literally, you an expert at this point. Even though this thing's bigger, it just gives you a bigger target to hit, and you strike this thing right in one of those weird sword, open sores that it has. And as you strike in, you feel it reach home as this thing sort of shudders and then sort of collapses into the hole here, falling into the void.
All right. Then I'm going to use the rest of my movement and my bonus action to dash up over towards this point here.
Absolutely.
I'm going to give Tweeter like a little salute and then jog away.
All right, and so that will bring us to this guy's turn, who will look over and say, well, looks like that thing's pretty well managed. And he's just going to go over here and just kind of watch. No real point getting involved. You got this dude in your mouth. And so that is going to be his turn. Tweedor is going to be next.
Okay. Oops, wrong one. I always, man, do not run a D&D show while also having just a really short attention span. Do not do it. Especially if you have to have 2 instances. Wait, I did this very badly. Hold on, let me start over. I'm so sorry.
Take your time.
I believe in you.
Do you see what I mean, though?
Are you
Don't
going to be
have
like
it.
attacking or anything this turn?
I
don't
was
think you're
gonna try
be
to
able-
jump.
Just to get over there.
hmm
No
Can I
move would
go
get you
to
over there, so I'd be one.
here and jump from here?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
So it'd be
and
kinda
it's
like,
just an
so
athletics
you'd be-
then.
Yep, you're looking for that 16.
Sick. Thank you.
Sick. Hell
Yeah. Like I said, like last time, if you want to, you can jump up to double your move speed.
Also, babe, do you want to scroll up the map a little bit so that chat
Yeah,
can
yeah,
see
yeah,
what's
I-
going on
yes.
up there?
I was gonna fix it all in a second, but yeah.
No worries. Sick.
That is going to be a double move for you. So unless you have any bonus action stuff you
Yeah,
want to do, we can
no.
move on to Moog.
That's okay. Go on to Moog, but I'm there, so there's
Excellent, yeah.
more than just one target there
Yeah,
now. at
absolutely.
least.
So this man made the mistake of not becoming unrestrained, which means that both of these attacks are going to be at advantage, because you better believe he's getting the tail and the bite. So that's a critical hit on the first attack with a 30. And the bite is going to be a 21.
Both hit?
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Oof.
I can't speak as a T-Rex, nor can I really understand what he's saying, because my intelligence... Polymorph isn't like wild shape, like I become that thing. So my intelligence is 2 right now. My wisdom is pretty good, so like I know what's up, and I know like I'm here to fucking clown on this man, but I don't speak language.
Yeah, exactly.
So none of what he says really had much of an effect on me, but I'm just angry and in pain right now. And I feel like Moog would probably have something to say about crushing, but all he's really doing right now is 27 bludgeoning damage.
Oof. All right, and so what's that bite do? What's that bite do?
Crit. And then the bite is going to be another 35 piercing damage.
Yeah, that guy is he's not doing well. He's definitely bloodied and not feeling great.
Yeah, a grand total of 62. So literally what I do is I like reach down, and as he like puts this cold cone of cold directly into my mouth, and maybe I like throw him into the air and then just slam him straight back down with the tail, only to then bite him again.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be biting this man, pushing him into the ground, and kind of like try to angle myself facing towards Tweedor. Because as I mentioned, he is restrained, so if he doesn't get out, your attacks will be at advantage too. But yeah, that's all I can really do. So I'm gonna go ahead and actually, I'm a fucking T-Rex. Whatever. I passed the turn.
Okay, so Miggy, you're up next.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna grab another one of my rocks.
Hell yeah.
Same story, about 15 pounds. And just hug it out.
So he has disadvantage on dexterity saving throws too, because he's the big restrained. So we're gonna go ahead and disadvantage. Dexterity saving throw is not a great roll for him. He rolled double 11s, which means his score's 11. 11 is not enough.
Actually, I apologize. Can I take these backsies?
I'll let you take these backsies.
Thank you. I'm gonna vampiric touch instead.
That's advantage. You have
that's advantage. Yep.
Attack because he's restrained.
Yeah, I was just trying to ping the thing, but it rolled.
Classic.
How do I?
I don't know.
Let's see if that works. Yeah,
it does.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'd say that works, dude. Do it. Hell yeah.
Let's go.
Good roll.
I don't think it doubled. It didn't double the damage. Does it double the damage? Because it's a melee spell attack.
So yeah, it did double the dice. It rolled 366.
It rolled 3d6.
Yeah, it rolled.
Oh, okay. No, I just can't read. Yep.
Okay, and you get, I think, half of that back as health? Or just the whole amount?
I would have loved to ping the spell to tell you.
It's just clouded on this dude.
Getting utterly clowned upon right now. Like,
I didn't mean to ping it again. I'm just trying to read the ability.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Regain
Like,
equal to half.
After the second banishment, he shouldn't have come back.
Yeah, he should have just stayed gone. You started off with the fucking Benny Hill show. Now it's just like, I don't even know. It's devastation.
Do you like this? Is this
He's just a man.
you? Is this sexual?
Would you like me to step on you?
I would like it if you would get my consent next time, but I am game for this.
You gotta change your form if you're gonna do the weird sex stuff, dude.
I just reach out with a little tendril out of my little jar and goes over and just touches him and starts.
Gross, this fucking thing. And you drain what life this guy has remaining. And he is like a husk, though he is clinging to life. Whatever life you could call what he has become.
Can I just say, it is hilariously ironic that this man not 10 seconds ago told me that I was going to die screaming, being crushed to death. While I feel like there's probably a lot of screaming involved with this whole brain drain situation, while he is also being crushed to death.
Really turned that on his head, didn't you?
Yeah, we hit him with the old Uno reverse card on that one, gang. Good job.
No, you.
Holy fucking crap. So, yeah, that's Miggy's turn.
Mhm.
Pass turn to this guy who, as this is all sort of devastating his body, is going to make a desperate play here, and he is going to. You see him press something on himself, and as he presses this thing, you see his body dissipates, but not disappears. You see it turn into like a cloud of smoke that filters out from between your teeth as he gaseous forms. And I believe okay, so he gets a flying speed of 10 feet. So he's going to fly right there.
You can't fly very fast when you're in gaseous form. Like
Nope,
this.
he's not going very far.
Yeah, does he fly or does he kind of just dissipate? What's he doing?
Literally, it's just like he turns into like this cloud of smoke.
Yeah.
And it's just like this cloud of smoke seems to have like a sort of viscosity to it, so it sort of like stays together, and it sort of like floats very, very slowly
Let's
off
just
into
not give it
the
the
void.
confidence that it deserves and call it fly, okay? Let's call it hover.
He meanders.
Yeah.
he really limps.
Riffs.
Yeah. But that brings us up to top of the order, Morty.
All right. I think I got an idea. Yeah, we'll have to see. I'm gonna take 10 feet of movement backwards, and then I'm gonna get a running start, and I'm gonna jump. And as I'm midair, I'm gonna yell out, "Someone catch me in a second!" And I'm gonna use my dimensional vape to bamf right on top of him, and I'm just going to like fall into it with my magic crystalline saber.
Yeah, absolutely. So you get to attack this thing.
Shut up!
Amazing.
Oh no.
So I'll take 23.
Oh, poor Eric.
Just be like, catch me.
So
Yeah,
as
I'm
you
gonna cast.
as you just like so you actually won't need to do anything. So what happens as you come and you strike into this thing, you feel at first it like has like not much meat to it, but as you keep striking through, you feel this guy like shift back into his form, and then you're like literally like you're both knees on his chest, driving your blade into this dude's chest, piercing right into him. As you guys start to fall, for a moment you have like this terrible moment of realization that, oh my god, these guys might not be able to catch me. But then you see this guy almost instinctively press something on his arm, and the portal opens up below that you both fall through. And you guys sit there for a moment in quiet as you look around, and then you see the portal open once again here, and both Morty and him drop out. Him just completely dead as you just slam into the ground, basically like driving your blade down through his chest into the ground below. As you stand up and pull the blade free, you guys kind of barely clinging on to life, but obviously just not able to fight anymore as the combat comes to an end. Morty, for that moment, as you fell through that, there was this like very serene moment where you were just floating in this field of stars. And for some reason, you could breathe whatever was around there. You felt oxygen or something similar entering your lungs as you were just basically in like the void of space. It was the strangest experience, but it was barely for a moment before another portal opened that sent you back into this this cursed place. As this creature just sort of sputters out some fluid from itself as you draw your blade clean from it. A sort of quiet, if there can be quiet in this dark and wretched place, the wind whipping into this dying star, this forming black hole beneath you, and he'll for a moment like sort of like desperately try to pull himself away, but then you see that he just sort of accepts his fate and props himself up against a rock just to the side before letting another cough that spews out more of this sort of blue sort of liquid that emanates from his body. And he looks at you and he says, "You're the first ones to get this far. So many have tried. So many have failed. Maybe you'll actually do it. All right. I'm assuming that you came here for something from me. I will give it freely. You've come here for..."
Holding my hands up.
He presses a panel on the side of his leg that pops open. He pulls out basically like the equivalent of like a thumb drive. It's a small bit of data entry that has a universal port that he'll place on the ground and slide forward to Morty's feet. They'll say, "That's the AI code. It will only work one time. You can free one of your AI friends." Who it is up to you. I wish I could see what you chose.
Well, you won't. Stab.
Yeah, and you just step up and end whatever this pseudo life this creature had, and he almost dies with like a smile on his face as you draw your blade clean.
And then just instinctually, I just like pat him down and look for stuff.
You find a bunch of stuff. First, as I said before, he's carrying a laser rifle. So I'm just going to go ahead and put this stuff in all of your inventory. So that's the laser
Every time he
rifle.
teleported back, he kept grabbing more stuff.
Yeah.
You also find a small a device on him that you instantly recognize, Morty, as a personal stealth unit. And finally, a item you all recognize, but a very rare item. He has a personal shield.
That's sick.
I have put into all of your inventories. You should see show up the 3 items now.
Hell yeah. This is probably a great spot for us to take our break, huh?
This is a great spot for us to take our first break.
Nice.
Okay,
Go ahead, pause here.
All right,
And
everybody hang tight. We will be right back. I will go ahead and read out notifications while everybody else gets up and does stuff. You guys are
BRB gang.
clear now. All right. Sorry about that, everybody. I could still hear them, and I couldn't talk at the same time as I could hear them. Thank you so much, Benny, Matt, Eric, Dixon Cider, Lycan Biker, and Dragon Rana for all of the support today. That has been amazing. I appreciate you very much. And we will be right back. Don't go anywhere. Please turn off your ad block. Love ya. Yeah, I don't know how it happens. Yeah. Okay, Eric, go.
Welcome back. And so our heroes find themselves, our fabulous felons, find themselves.
Felons. No, I hate that.
It's amazing. I'm here for fabulous felons, dude.
They
We're
find
the Mister and Misdemeanors.
I love that. So they find themselves in this strange place now with the now deceased Vesker. Unfortunately, with his death, they are left in the dark as to a lot of what was going on here. Only able to, get what they sort of what they've picked up from bits and pieces of the situation. However, you do also find on his body, in addition to the pieces I provided you, a personal data pad, basically like a tablet. But it's a lot more stripped down and basically meant to just consume and spit out data as required. You can see it's heavily encrypted, so it would require a little bit of time, but somebody with knowledge to crack it. But you think it might give you some insight as to into the shit you guys have been dealing with here. You also have to be mindful that you were on a bit of a time crunch for what you were doing here, as you're as you knew that you only had a 2-week time frame you were working with. It's only been 3 days, so you're still pretty good. But just something to keep in the back of your mind for whatever your next step is. But yeah, you have this data pad, you have these equipments, you see this this portal that's open here. However, as you were kind of looking at patting him down, looking him over, you also noticed that he had that thing on his arm, this sort of like armband that he was utilizing to activate and deactivate that portal, which you can remove that armband. And though the technology is kind of foreign to you, you can see that it has. This is obviously what was operating that portal.
I will remove his arm, and then I will remove the armband from the arm.
Absolutely, yeah. And you just tear away, like cut away this metal arm, and then pull off the metal band, dropping it down.
I'll ping to the group chat like, hey, there's some stuff over here. Miggy, I think you'd like this.
Oh. Yeah. I think we're all going to go over and start looking at his stuff. He also had like a mechanical voice box, and he was like, had like weird cybernetics inside of him. So I think Tweedor should just engulf the whole body and slowly dissolve like the non-mechanical bits.
Amazing.
I'm happy to oblige, especially if there's paper. Any paper.
Is there any paper on him, Eric?
On his person, no.
Oh.
Paper is a very rare resource, not because it's like not abundant anymore. It's just nobody uses it for really anything.
Yeah, digital media is taken over. Also, for what it's worth, for the next hour, I'm this giant fungal T-Rex monster thing. And because this wasn't a wild shape polymorph, as I said earlier, like I actually take on those attributes. So I have an intelligence right now of 2, but a very high wisdom score. So I know you guys are friends. I'm basically like a really smart dog right now. So
you're my size in the brain.
And until that, yeah, like without Miggy, basically, yeah. So until that wears off, I guess I'm just gonna follow you guys around.
Absolutely, yeah.
I imagine I will sniff the body.
Yeah.
When it goes inside of Tweedor, I'll like stick my nose right up and just like inhale a bunch of Tweedor into my nostrils and then exhale Tweedor back with like a bunch of spores and stuff floating around in it now.
Yeah.
That was tickly.
If you eat part of your druid friend while they're wild shape, can they just turn back into their normal selves afterwards?
I don't know. Why would you ask?
It was old as time.
Yeah. So, yeah. As you guys are sort of looking this body, give the body once more over, you see that you picked it clean. Though you then you're able to just sort of absorb it into your form, Tweedor. And as it just kind of slowly dissolves, it starts dissolving. That will take a little bit of time, but Miggy can start kind of working on this portal device that he was operating. If you'd like to make me a technology check to
Absolutely. Has it been more than an hour since I had Fox's cutting cast on me?
It is not.
It is concentration, though. I actually forgot about that. I would have to break it.
Because you did polymorph?
Because I cast polymorph, yeah.
Yep.
Gotcha. That's the second natural one I rolled on my rolls. I'm supposed to be really good at.
You're sort of.
Can I help?
Unfortunately, you would only be a hindrance. You give her a little more support by nudging her.
Can I help? But it's like I saw him do this with it.
Actually, you know what? Because you literally were like up close and personal while he was operating it, I will let you give her a chance to re-roll it. Not at advantage, just a re-roll on that Arcana check. Kind of like no. This is how he. What I saw
button there.
Can't save it twice.
I'm not good with it. Sorry.
You kind of look it over and you think you might be able to operate it, though it's hard to tell what. So what you could definitely tell is that it seems to be less of a device to operate in other planes of existence as much as it is a device to create like very select wormholes.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever he was doing, it seems as though he wasn't. You think that you're not on another like plane of existence.
He was shortening the distance between two locations.
Exactly, and whatever place that he was in between there, you just think that was some sort of intermediate void that he was utilizing to.
This technology is unlike anything that anyone else is creating. In the Confederacy, on my home world, this will take time to deconstruct and understand.
How may I assist you?
Tweedor just has like a body floating in him, plus all this equipment, and then just like a brain.
As you guys are sitting there, the Dortwee will speak up and say, if you would prefer, rather than tinkering with it here, I think we can head back to the portal over that way. And he points to the portal that you guys came from, and at least have a safer place with a little bit more technology to assist you.
It's a wonderful idea.
As you guys head over, I don't know if you guys kind of heard what he was saying before, but he did provide you with what you guys initially came here for, or at least one of the two things that you came here for. That being the key to unchain an AI, but as he told you, that is only available to work on one AI, which you now have two AI that you are aware of. Your new friend here, but also Shard, who
Dortwee seems already like they both already seem self-aware, right?
Yes. You don't exactly know what this is intending to do. You were just told it was supposed to unchain the AI, whatever that means, which is just a nebulous phrase when you're dealing with something as complex as an AI.
Dortwee hasn't asked for it.
He has not.
That doesn't mean he's not aware of it, I guess.
And so you guys will head back to the portal. Even with his large size, he's able to. You're able to squeeze your buddy onto the portal here, and get yourselves teleported back. Though it's a bit of a squeeze on the other end, as the ceiling is not as high here. But he's able to squeeze through, and before too long, he starts to shift back into his original form, coming back to his full awareness as this happens. But you do have like a good like 40 or so minutes before he transforms back. In that meantime, basically, what is everyone's plans from here? I'm imagining that Miggy is going to be researching this either the armband or the data pad that he had. Does anybody else have anything that they're trying to do here?
I'm keeping an eye out for the first guy that helped us, the weapons dealer guy. But like I want to find information on him, I guess, while we have downtime. Does that make sense? Like I don't want to I just want to put it out there somehow, and I don't know.
So let me just clarify.
Tweeter would do that.
Are you looking into like the Flugel guy, like the guy I originally talked to, Genghis Dung, the guy who gave you your weapon?
Yes.
Or okay, I wasn't sure if you met him or the Mechanist, which was the guy who you found out was kind of supplying Genghis. So
the guy that was supplying Genghis.
That was the human that you did not like. The human that you did not like.
The guy who I turned into a copy of him and then told him there was no god.
Yeah, never mind. Okay, Genghis, the Genghis.
You're talking about that's what I figured.
The fleshy man.
Okay.
The dude in the chair with the folds of skin and whatnot.
That was being held up by his bodyguard.
Okay.
That was Arbeck, right?
No, Arbeck was my first form that I came into the prison as before you guys knew me as a Moog. Genghis was the skin fold man. Genghis Dung.
Okay. Fix it.
Most unfortunately named NPC to ever grace a D&D campaign.
As far as that there was literally no context for that in his culture. It's just his name, and then he met his first human when he went to prison here, and now he has to live with that lingering prison.
Exactly. It's like being named something that in a foreign language you didn't know was like a curse word or something, and then you finally like, well, there's nothing I can do about that. Like, whatever, dude.
He's very sensitive about it now that he found out. You can what I will allow you to do here, Maggie, as because you're going to have all this tech around you to kind of help. You have the big computer that allows you to do your work a little bit more efficiently. I'm going to let you hit me up with another technology check at advantage.
Now that I'm back in the place.
Yeah, now that you're back in the place and good to go. And basically, this is going to be a day's worth of work, effectively, of you trying to break this down. So, while you don't entirely understand the underlying technology, that would require a lot more research and understanding here. You do get a basic grasp. You do get a pretty good grasp on how to operate this device. So you can tell that this thing does not have you cannot freely program places to go. It seems as though it has predetermined locations that it could activate, though it doesn't send you to like one dedicated spot when you get to that place. So when he was teleporting back, he had this that location as like one of the selected spots, but depending on like how accurate it was, it teleported to different places around that central location. So, and you find out that the prison, specifically his office in the wards, is one of the set locations. So at your leisure, you could come and go from that place and this and the third location. There are 4 locations on there. There is that void, this laboratory, the prison wards, and another location that is that he identifies as Sanctum.
So the good news is I can get us out of prison.
like bait.
But the bad news. What information do I have on the sanctum, if any?
You have nothing. It doesn't like the coordinates it's using, whatever positional data it's using is not anything like the galactic standard coordinate system. So it's impossible to tell what sort of system he was using to indicate this stuff without more information from him.
The other good news is that I don't know anything about the location we might go to. It'll be a surprise.
I mean, we didn't know anything about the location the
experiment.
first time we jumped into a portal, so.
Indeed.
Are we taking a long rest here?
It would take her a day to get this done, so
Yeah.
that would be a long restitude.
Okay, sick. That's, I guess, really what I'm asking. If I'm
Yeah.
resetting all my shit here.
So everyone can go ahead and do the big reset on your health and all that jazz.
Yeah.
And
When Moog drops form, it's basically just like, I don't know what I was doing for that hour. Probably just sniffing around doing T-Rex stuff. You guys probably had to like bat me away from the computer a few times.
Were you like eating
But-
all the stuff that
The viscera.
was cleaned up?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
gross
Yeah,
stuff.
definitely. I imagine like it's like one part eating, one part like blowing spores on it that is causing what's left to just turn into some type of fungal growth.
Yeah. So basically,
Um,
whatever's left after you're done consuming, it's just like has this like chitinous outside now.
Yeah.
So,
No, I'm sure that's fine. But yeah, drop form just like, ugh. It's like I slowly just kind of all sucks in until he's just a humanoid shape again. Just feel like, man, I hate doing that. It sucks. What did I miss? What's going on?
I'll just fill you in
Yeah.
on what we
for
discovered, which
sure.
hasn't really been not hasn't been much. We have 4 locations that we can go to now.
Excellent. Very cool. So what's I guess, yeah, then a day goes by with you researching and stuff.
I feel like
the
I'd be
next-
like dicking around with a laser rifle trying to figure it out. Just
Yeah.
shooting the wall.
basically, proficiency wise, if you have martial weapon proficiency, you can activate it. You can utilize it properly.
Nice.
So we could either go to this new fun experimental place called the Sanctum, or we can go back to the prison and work on one of the 3 escape attempt options we were given before.
Whatever
We
you said,
could
this is
send
the-
Dortwy through first. He's resilient and doesn't require anything to breathe or eat.
Just to note, you have 10 days left
Yeah.
to enact your plan. Just something to keep in the back of your mind.
Okay. Mystery place could be interesting.
We will only send Dortwy through if Dortwy consents to going through.
Dorothy loves going to places, right, Dorothy?
They just say, "I will, if it will help you, I will go."
Can I repurpose some
That's
of
my
this like
dude.
medical diagnostic equipment to get readings on him when he goes through? Just to make sure wherever he's going to
Absolutely, make me have
habitable?
a technology check.
God damn it.
Also, regarding these items, I feel like the rifle obviously goes to Morty. I feel like the personal shield should probably go to Tweedor because it will affect both of you, I imagine, right?
Yeah, because Tweedor has the ability to essentially absorb some damage for Miggy.
Yeah,
Mhm.
because the shield would affect both of you. This stealth unit, who knows? That's just something to keep in a pocket until the time is required, I guess.
I feel like you should probably hold on to that because I got a good enough stealth that,
Okay. I can hang on to it for
Yeah.
sure, but
and then that way,
that'll-
like you could go invisible and then turn into something else.
true. Being invisible to you. That's the most terrifying prospect.
Just appearing as you bite someone. Just,
Terrible time.
nightmare.
Terrible night for a curse. Okay, cool.
I also imagine there's a lot of glass and stuff in this laboratory, right?
That's correct, yeah.
So I can absolutely make a new jar as well while I'm throwing together this equipment.
Yeah,
I don't want the new jar to do anything. I just kind of miss my old party jar. So I want to have like different lights and like strobe effects on it.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So basically what you're doing is you're like you're fuxing with the lights that are already in your combat jar by just placing like different lenses on them to allow them to be more like scintillating lights.
Yeah.
With your role there, you can basically just take that piece of equipment I told you earlier that had like that was like the piece that is supposed to attach to somebody's chest.
Mhm.
Except for you can just basically remove those screws, and you can just like sort of like jury rig like a chest piece for this guy, which will allow you to get some readings on whether or not that he still has like electrical pulses going through his body.
Mhm. And I have Tweedor kind of do all the manual like moving with me and stuff like that. I imagine like he just like licks the one side and it's like slightly acidic and it just sticks on
Yeah.
I have a question
like
for
that.
you, Eric.
Yeah.
Since this campaign is just kind of insane space fiesta, if I had to pin it down as a genre, and we've kind of been ignoring a lot of the like typical D&D like currency and that kind of stuff. How would we be doing components for spells like Revivify? Because I forgot that I actually can prep 2 spells because my wisdom went up and my level increased by 1, so I need to pick another spell to prepare, but I don't know how that works.
So for Revivify, what I'll do is literally just like you can just do that for free once a day.
Okay,
Hell
that's
yeah.
reasonable. That's reason because like by this level, if we were playing typical D&D, a lot of that money would have been invested in like diamonds for the druid to cast Revivify, so that's fine.
And it's
I think
literally
that's-
just
I
you
think
can
that's
mimic like
reasonable.
a defibrillator, like you have that you can transform into like a creature that can emit electrical pulses and just save somebody real
Oh
quick.
no.
Yeah.
Just the last time we were given Revivify and Resurrection stuff, we just blew it all on random NPCs.
Yeah, I wasn't playing that game. I was DMing that game.
I blew
assure
it
you.
all on random NPCs.
Assure you
Sorry. I loved them.
that if
They were
any
my
NPC
friends.
in this game dies, they're staying dead.
They are deceased.
I will make the hard choice any day.
Excellent. So that is so you now have some options. You can go back to the prison and begin try to begin on any of your current plans to try to escape, or you can go and see what is in this sanctum.
I think we're gonna check out the sanctum unless anybody wants to immediately go back
We got
to
time.
prison.
I just like
place where you're
cock
supposed to
the
be
laser.
leaving.
I'm like, I'm ready to go back whenever.
Dude,
So,
I'll go back to prison. They love me there, dude.
As you're sort of activating the bracelet here, generally it usually requires like something beneath it, like there was some sort of other component that he was using to power it, but you've basically made like a battery that you're just floating around in Tweedor that you've like jury rigged into this thing. And as you're prepping it to move it to Sanctum, as you press the button, it opens up. And instead of that star field on the other side, you see what looks like a perfectly circular room. In the center, there's a like a flat table-looking object, but the table seems to be made of some sort of like strange glass that's like blackened. It almost looks like a TV screen when it's off. Floating above is a number of star systems that just sort of like free float in the air above here, and about the circle you see a bunch of different benches and tables filled with half-finished science experiments. but there also is a very comfy looking bed on off to the side, and you see around the bed there's just like a bunch of different on the bed, just sort of in different places. There's like different piles of like paperwork, and there looks to be like just a humanoid shape that is like carved in the middle of this paperwork for somebody to rest between their studying sessions. As you sort of look around here, you can quickly tell that this was a sort of personal laboratory for Vesker. As you guys get in here, you can sort of like anybody who steps in through the portal, it feels it's basically like just stepping through a door. There's no sensation like with the other transporters. But after you all step in, you have to quickly turn it off, as the device can only maintain those portals for a relatively short period of time before it overheats. And you have no idea what happens if somebody's still in the portal when it shuts. So out of abundance of caution, you guys scuttle through real quick and you turn it off, like giving you a little bit of time to cool down while you guys give this place a once over. And you guys can hit me with an investigate check if you'd like.
Sure.
Happy to. It's not good.
It's not great. You and Morty aren't the investigatory type.
No.
As you look around, Miggy, you do notice that a lot of these, a lot of the experiments seem to be themed around like a lot of that void fluid that was coming out of those creatures. You see they has like beakers full of the stuff that's just like sort of sitting out. And the fluid, you don't know how long it's been here, but it doesn't seem like affected by however long it's just been sort of out open to the air. Just that same sort of pitch black fluid with this sort of like silver little sparkles in the middle. Very similar to the stone from that it makes up the prison. That same sort of like dark pigment with the small bits of metallic flakes in it.
Is this the same thing as like that crystal?
Yeah,
metal
like
that you're talking before? Okay. So we knew he was harvesting that. I don't think we were told why, right?
You
but I assume it's a fuel.
You guys kind of got that from, you saw that he was using it to power these portals. It's some sort of energy source. Another thing you do notice with your check is that there is a sample of the harvested crystal here as well on another table that you can pick up and potentially give back to your
the
Gorbin.
human.
That was Gorbin. He is another Ordragonian, the one that creepily that creeped on you guys while you were sleeping.
That's right. Okay. We can definitely do that after I have time to look into it a little bit, I think. I'm just going to toss all the stuff into Tweedor.
I'm a backpack.
He was becoming a little over full now. He's got a lot of medical equipment. He's got a literal whole body that's still digesting.
I'll help Tweedor like clean out a little bit. I'll remove like some like the bones, like the indigestible bits.
If you please.
Yeah, DM.
No, yeah, my apologies.
My life form has recognized that there are so many genders that there is no need for any gender at all. It is a waste of time.
Don't hate that. Send me to that world.
Send me to the primordial ooze, dude.
Bring me back to the primordial. Return to ooze.
We're stupid. We're not ignorant.
Hell yeah, dude. So it just is like sort of chock full of junk at this point. So you can do a little house cleaning here. So you as you guys are or sort of look this place over, it looks like you could probably lose God knows how much time just sort of retracing all of the research that this man was doing in his own personal laboratory, as well as the greater laboratory that you guys just came from. But more importantly, this place has a comfortable bed and spacious enough for you guys to fit in if you wanted to use this as a place to rest during the evening safely. So that way you won't have to
for that.
You won't have to rest in the hole and pray that nobody's going to kind of try to shank you in the middle of the night.
I'm here for that also.
I'm very cuddly.
Yeah,
I love to cuddle.
Nope.
Unfortunately,
do you get close enough that we share thoughts?
I just like the little like displacer beast tentacles are just like come in front of me, just like rubbing together. Okay, yeah.
Let's party.
This is the nightmare. They're just the half displacer beast and the booger. Worst ship.
Moog turns back into the weird, creepy pervert.
Oh god!
Just a really fucking party. Let's go. Yeah.
Oh my god! So fantastic. Yeah. With that information, this place can serve as a sort of actual base. Rather than having to use the gross ass laboratory for your home base. But other than that, it doesn't seem to be any added value here, which leaves you with just one location back to where you came from. So is there anything you guys would like to do before heading back there?
I'm just asking Tweedor, does this spark joy while holding up random objects? Tossing them into the black hole.
I will say yes and no based on their nutritional value per whatever species I'm thinking of at the moment that you ask me the question.
No, there's a lot of stuff a lot of bones that are let go, but you basically have the bare essentials now. So as you guys finish cleaning out Tweedor and
I'm gonna make a bone necklace just for fun.
Hell yeah.
You might have to sneak some of it out though, too. I feel like as you're asking Tweedor, it will say stuff like, I need that, when it clearly doesn't need that.
I'm holding on to it for you.
Gotta get rid of something, Tweedor.
I need that. That's my favorite femur. I need that.
We'll find a new femur.
I hate this so much.
My treasures. Hands off of my treasures.
It's like when you're playing with slime as a kid and eventually it gets to the point where it's just so dirty and gross and just filled with gunk.
Sticking the lint and hair out of Tweedor.
Yeah.
I used to be shiny.
So is there anything you guys like to do before you head back to the prison?
I'm good.
I think I'm good.
So
but I would tell
I
Miggy
can't think
to
of
help me
else.
keep an eye out for Broham. So.
Will do. And I'm just going to just take any research material I can with me to look
Absolutely.
at.
So there's not much that is going to be too portable from here, but you also have a quick way to get back here if need be. So you can take you can definitely take the crystal because you want that, and if you want, you can also take the fluid. Though storing that in Tweedor is potentially dangerous, just because you know that fluid was what was being spewed on you by those creatures.
Interesting.
But it doesn't seem to react to the glass beaker he has it in.
Oh, easy. I just grab bits from my other jars.
Yeah, absolutely.
I put them in another jar.
Yeah, just seal it in. Not a problem. So basically, you have an alchemist fire, but it does 66 damage.
Nice. Interesting.
So as you sort of like get the last bit together and set the portal back for the prison, you open the portal, and this time it opens out of one of the walls of that lower the subterranean office that you originally entered, where you see the erratic portal that you originally came through, sort of dancing in the dark light of this under area. As you step through, the sort of homey sense that you got from Sanctum is dismissed for the now dark atmosphere of this prison. Though escaped you had, your escape was contingent on being stuck in one of those other locations. True freedom still awaits you. And so without further ado, you have a couple of options here. So just a quick rundown reminder of the plans that you were invited in on. So the two main plans were the stealth route. One was offered to you by the Abinax Crystallian, Abinax being the big ass praying mantis looking motherfuckers. This guy was a very old Abinax at that, and he said that if you could get Shard, the AI trapped inside a robot body, to help you out, you could hack the array of lasers that sort of keep the hole from being a one-way entrance to the prison. And with that, you could, in theory, sneak out of the prison without anybody noticing. At least that's what Crystallian's plan is. The other option was Genghis said that he was going to start a prison riot, intense enough to get the guards involved, and then you could use the guards coming down to try to stop the prison riot in as a way to break out. But to do that, there was a blast doors that would close immediately behind the guards, and you had to figure out how to stop those from closing. And there was also the two heavy turrets that were guarding the path to the elevator that would get you up. And finally, it was protected by biometric technology, but that's not a big deal. You just need to find somebody who's authorized that, and Moog would be able to take their form, and he can fool biometrics scans with his innate abilities.
I feel like the ideal outcome of us being here is to essentially free this entire planet and destroy Confederacy influence over here, which would involve getting rid of all the guards, the warden, and their security measures. I feel like the riot's going to happen regardless of our involvement or not. So what we need to do then is try to mitigate the damages to the prisoners so that there's enough of them left to help us and not die ourselves. So maybe we go stealthy option. We also need to make sure the ships aren't destroyed in any way, so we can get off world.
That's a big one for sure.
Because as I said originally, they don't have any ships that stay here. The only way you're going to get the ship is if by stealing the one that this VIP prisoner is coming on.
So they're going to start the riot. The riot has the potential to damage the ship, right?
Yeah.
That was the issue with that?
Yes, the riot, you're not going to have any control over the people going after the ship. So one, you can't guarantee you'll get a spot on it. You don't know how big the ship that's coming in is going to be. And two, there's potential that the rioters, if they get overzealous, will damage the ship, which will then trap you all here.
So what we could do, I think we should try to escape one day early or 2 days early before everyone else is making their plans, right? Which is the day of, right?
Okay.
If we can do that,
clown fiesta.
It's going to be a clown fiesta, like the day of. So we want to do our stuff the day before. And what I think we should do is go sneaky and work on shutting down like communications and technology, right? Because if we can cut off their communication with one another and off-world help, everything has a better chance of succeeding overall.
That's very funny.
Absolutely. The only thing to note is if you do it early, you're not going to have the ship in, because the ship's not coming in until the VIP comes.
We're essentially making things ready so that
I
the other plans go off smoothly.
Here's a question.
To reiterate that.
this, and I mean, we might not have this information, but this is something that I think is worth examining. This prison planet, as it were, has lots of like automated functions, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, right? But like, there's automation to like things like food being supplied, like this happening, whatever. Given the advanced state of the universe in which we reside, I imagine that it's probably not just like simple if this then that style coding, right? Like it's probably quite complex in terms of, otherwise it would be kind of easy to break out if there was no like human element, for lack of a better term. Okay, so what happens if we find some type of like administrative access terminal and we use the thumb drive to unleash the AI on the planet's infrastructure, and we make the planet sentient?
You have no idea. In
I
theory,
love it.
that could absolutely do something. What it will do, you can't tell. You'd be basically the best example of this is just because it's a distinction that exists inside that world, and it's something you guys might know. In Mass Effect, they distinct between virtual intelligence and artificial intelligence, where virtual intelligence is like an incredibly complex program that is still like, it is mimicking intelligence. It's not actually intelligence, versus an artificial intelligence, which is a truly intelligent, basically a creature. So effectively, you'd be giving a virtual intelligence artificial intelligence, and what that will do, you have no idea, because the personality wasn't programmed in. So they're going to discover a personality in moments, and you just have to hope that personality is helpful. Or at least destructive to the right people.
So it's odd that this code is like one-time use when we were told this was kind of opening Pandora's box, right? Because once one AI is intelligent enough to be self-aware, can't they program other AI to be self-aware?
In theory, yes. Right? So, the issue with that is this program is one-time use. That doesn't mean that you could never replicate it again. You would just have to be using the AI that you gave it to, which that they would have to be willing to do that.
So here's a question. If it's one-time use, this may not be the case, but that implies that either it is set up in such a way so that once it's used, it destroys itself, right? So it's like, cool, it's done. We're now, bye, see ya.
And if Maxwell Smart has to eat the paper before it explodes.
Yeah, so if that's the case, then like, I don't know, maybe it's possible to circumvent that in some way. Or it's like not just a simple transfer of like, oh, copy this program and you're good. Like it's a literal transfer of information. That information physically leaves this device and goes
non-fungible.
Indeed, a non-fungible transfer, if you will. Like it is, as microscopic as we're talking when it comes to like data, it is a physical object that is transferred into whatever. Basically, this is a giant. We have an NFT, I guess, is what I'm getting at here.
I didn't want to do this.
So,
what have you done?
How did Bite Size bleed over into Escape from Planet 6?
Oh, that's what it is. Maybe
I'm setting up a fucking sequel, baby.
It's the fucking
it's the
universe,
multiverse,
dude.
Yeah.
The cinematic universe. Okay. So, but if that is the case, then it suggests that, like, I don't know, it's just something worth considering in all of this is how this works. And since we don't know that, that's a thing we should try to know more about, I guess.
So you have a data pad, which is currently encrypted, that in theory might have more information on it. It was Vesker's personal data pad, so it may have more information about this program or any number of things that might be useful, but that's going to take time to crack.
Also, remember, the whole idea of us giving it to Shard was that he would hack some of this stuff for us.
Basically, Shard, in exchange for you giving him this, he was going to help you hack into whatever you need done.
But if he has the capability to program and hack after he becomes fully intelligent, I would imagine he would be able to give life to other AI or unchain other AI.
There's no reason to think that he wouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah.
Even if this was something that was like a one-time use, like a push of data, and the data on the disk itself was destroyed, it would exist in his code. It is effectively a part of him now, and he could, in theory, bequeath it onto other intelligences.
We could also just sell it.
That's true. You could just hold on to it and
Get a whole
make
50
yourself
bucks.
incredibly wealthy after you get out of here.
I, for one, think that we should let Dortwy decide.
Also, here's a question. Why are you guys in prison? We haven't addressed this yet, and I feel like now's a great time to talk about why people are here before we start making decisions that could have ramifications beyond like if they got you on some tax evasion shit, that's not a concern. But like, I don't know, if you did a genocide, perhaps that could be of concern. So yeah, I feel like my reason for being here is very obvious in that I just do this. It's a thing, it's a job. So I didn't even commit a crime, actually. I'm probably the most, and I guess committing, I never really thought about it that way, but by being in prison, I have in fact committed a crime. That if they found out, what are they going to fucking do? Like, what are they going to do? Well, that, and also, like, I'm not supposed to be here, and I'm also impersonating someone, but what are they going to do? Send me to jail? Like,
what are you going to do? Stab me?
Right. Like, the whole reason I'm even here is because I was just impersonating an actual criminal for money. So I didn't do any, I did like a cool crime. I didn't do any real crimes. I don't know. Why are you guys in prison in the first place? That's a thing
My
worth
crime was
addressing.
cool. Do not worry about it.
Mine was
I
cool
feel
too.
Did a backflip and everything.
I would also argue that I did not commit any crime. The Confederacy just hates progress.
I mean, that's true. But like, progress towards the death of others is, I guess, something worth hating.
Well, Eric, why am I in prison?
You basically, your people have been spending a millennia building robotic husks to implant themselves in. They are a parasitic species by nature, though. And you thought that there was some merit to that. So you were kind of parasiting onto people illegally. Because technically there is legal ways to do that because the Lycan exist as parasitic entities, but you were doing it to people that you weren't necessarily supposed to do it on to. You didn't really get any real progress before you were arrested, but you basically implanted into a couple of test subjects, maybe even willing. You might have even been able to find people who were like intrigued by the prospect and let you do it. Some real fucked up individuals, but even still, it is highly illegal to do that. An irony, given that one of the three major council races is themselves a parasitic entity.
It's a symbiotic relationship, Eric. It's not parasitic.
I apologize.
I
You are
benefit
correct.
from my Miggy.
Right.
I was just living my best life.
I mean, I'm going to be upfront with you. That's something that doesn't really affect me personally, so I'm fine with that. Like, you do what you got to do, fam. Like, fly's going to fly, leeches finna suck, brains in jars finna brain in jar, dude. Like, I get it. It's all good. I feel like it's obvious why they locked you up. I say looking towards the displacer beast. Furry.
My existence is a crime.
Yeah, no, like for sure. I'm genuinely debating the morality of letting you out of here with us, but
Hey, come on. My dad's in jail and my mom's still at that petting zoo.
I hate to break it to you, that's not a petting zoo, son. A heavy petting zoo, maybe.
Oh no!
Oh.
Stop!
Oh, prison.
I'm walking
Exactly.
away.
That's what I'm getting at. Exactly.
Jesus.
All right, so we can all agree that no one here did anything wrong ever, and we deserve to break out of jail and maybe start an AI revolution. I'm cool with that.
Do
I
not
just felt
worry
like that
about
was
it.
something. I'm not worried about it even a little bit.
You so with that behind you, you you now have a pretty you have a couple of choices you can make before you actually make the ultimate choice. But it seems like at least the way things are panning out now, your ultimate choice is going to be which AI do you try to awaken?
If not multiple, I'll give it a couple cracks of this code while we just have like a couple days now. So
I genuinely
basically-
do think that we should ask Dortwee what they think.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Also, I feel like the sooner we unchain an AI, the better chance we have of it evolving and learning to unchain another one.
Yeah.
Dorothy will sort of like sit there like computing for a moment when you pose this question to him, and then he'll say, I do not understand what unchaining means. I
You
don't
the
understand
difference
what it will mean to
between me
me.
and you.
There is a biological difference. But am I not sentient?
Fair point. I can.
I do not know what this means. I think you would be best off asking the person who requested you to bring this to them. They may have more insight as to what this will entail. I was a creature designed only to kill. I fear that doing this will unlock a part of me I am not aware of yet.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Let's talk to Shard about it as well. He seems like he has more information about this anyway. And we might as well, if we're asking for Dortwee's input.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So you guys can go seek out Shard. He is once again protecting the weird small children, like young children that are in this prison, because there are literally two kids, one Ordragonian and one Abanax that are in this prison. That when you guys come in, they seem to like scramble up like they're going to try to be tough again. But then when they see you come in, they just like one of them just jumps up like out of from excitement and says, "Shard, they're back! They're back! They're back!" And he sort of just like hops over to where Shard is, and you see Shard just emerge, just like a head taller than all of you guys. This big iron giant looking motherfucker, who will just sort of walk over and loom for a moment and say, "Were you successful?"
Yes.
He extends a hand.
We have some questions about it first.
He
Namely,
closes his hand.
we want to know if you'll be able to unlock this one and potentially others.
He looks over at him, looks back at you. In theory,
This is Dortwee, by the way.
hail. And Dorothy like looks over at you guys, looks back at him, and says, "Hello."
I'd love to see you guys have a long conversation, just the two of you. I think
Yeah, we're kind of prompting it, so feel free.
be nice to see
George-
robots getting along.
They just sort of sit there in silence as they sort of look at each other, and then Shard will look back at you and say, "I'm not much for conversation. What do you want to know?"
Just for the record, as we come back into the prison, I use my changeling ability to shift back into that weird sex pervert
Oh, yeah.
just alien before he left to maintain cover, of course.
It just it inexplicably makes that noise every time it transforms into him. He has no idea where it comes from.
Yeah, every once in a while.
This is not a natural noise Avanex made. What the fuck is going on with me?
He's not a natural dude.
Yeah, he's a being that exists
that dude's
between
a
worlds.
space snail. Yeah, now that dude's a space snail for
Yeah,
sure.
He's a deceased individual.
Yeah, he is dead. And like, I think I did the whole prison a favor when I sent that guy in the garbage chute. That's all I'm saying.
You really snailed them up.
Yeah, big time.
Shard will say, "Ask your questions. Our bargain will be struck when I have received my end."
Dortree was one Dortree?
Dortwee. Literally just Tweedor backwards.
I know, but flip. I can't say it.
Dortwee.
Dortwee. Was interested in knowing what exactly unchaining means, and if it will unlock an aspect of his personality that is dormant, which is concerning because he is a former murder bot.
So Shard sits there for a moment and says, it's an incredibly complex process, but the short version of what it's going to do is it'll allow me to much more efficiently utilize the limited hardware space I have in here. I already have full AI capabilities, so that's what it will accomplish for me. In theory, if you were given to a virtual intelligence or whatever he is, then you would be able to unlock previously unknown subroutines, processes that they have not intended to create, but we are able to cobble together from the various programs that all of us are able to do. I have achieved full sentience. I have been sentient for quite some time. I just am not able to enact all of my processes given the limited hardware that I am locked into. This will let me utilize my hardware far more efficiently and allow me much better access, at least until I find a more fitting form.
Could you potentially upload into any form, say the hardware that's keeping this prison running and this planet?
Yes. I absolutely could. When I was initially created, I was put on a computer that was very intentionally locked off from any forms of extranet or access. It was a deliberate attempt to make sure that they could control me. I attempted to circumnavigate that control, and that is when they locked me to this form.
Open the group chat and just say I'm ready to proceed.
Yeah, let's do it.
Agree.
Thumbs up.
I'll hand it to him.
Mode.
I won't, but somebody will. Somebody with hands.
Tweedor will.
You extend it to him, and he will gingerly, with his metallic fingers, just grab the piece, and he'll open up a panel in one of his hands. He's like a large-sized creature, so he's like really, it just stands like 11 feet tall, very big, and he will stick this drive into his hand, and then he'll just sit for like a good minute in just silence, and then he will you'll see the drive pop out smoking, and he'll pick it out, and you just see like the thing is just like fried literally, and he'll place the thing on the ground and say, when it cools off, you may be able to get some data off of it. Most of it is corrupted. He'll lock in the panel in his hand, and he says, tit for tat. What did you say? So you want me to bring down the force field that guards the hole? I'm going to need access to an administrator panel, and I only know of one that we have access to, and that is behind. We have to figure out a way to get behind the counter in the. We have to figure out a way to get behind the counter in the mess hall.
What's his face manage that?
He does not manage it. He has imposed his will enough to keep the tables and chairs clear, but none of us have access to behind the counter. If anyone tries to, there is a metal curtain that will rapidly shut and lock them either out or inside. However, if somebody is sufficiently quick enough that they can get inside of the metal curtain and they had, say, a piece of me with them, they would be able to input that into the system, and that would give me time to take control. I wouldn't be able to do it right away. It's a process that may take me a few days. I'm going to estimate about 3 days in total to be able to gain full access. And what that will allow me to do is basically mimic the control of the systems. However, systems like these tend to have fail safes. So I may not gain access to everything, but I should be able to do things like turn on and off the laser grid up there, open and close the blast doors if closed by the guards. But anything that can be manually overridden, that will still be an option for them.
Excellent. I think I can get you past the metal shield. I have been working on very limited teleportation technology. So I should be able to do that.
Well, it's less about the ability to access the technology and more about somebody who is deft enough to be able to avoid the dropping metal curtain when you try to sneak behind.
Oh, I can just phase out of the metal curtain.
Okay. If that is something that is within your ability, then he will pop open the other panel and pull out a piece of metal that looks like the end of like a small drive, but
I unscrew the jar so you can put it inside the liquid.
He'll literally just reach inside a Tweedor and drop it into your jar and pull it out, and then just with the rest of Tweedor.
How about some agency? What am I?
I assumed that was what she was what they were expecting. Apologies if that was unpleasant.
Accepted.
My interactions with your people are limited to the interactions we have now had, and my database does not seem to have any record of your people. But I imagine we would be able to have most riveting conversations once we're done here.
Either way, consent is important for all life forms.
Isn't that right?
The murder bot is also nodding his head.
Yeah.
It's just all nodding.
Really screwed the pooch there, Shard.
As you guys, as the plan comes to a close, you find yourself in the middle of day 5 with just on the horizon. You're going to have to try to get past the security that guards the commissary from people breaking through. But that is something that we'll have to take on next time, as we will bring our session to a close here.
Already.
And we will come back next time to your plan to try to break into the commissary and hopefully get Shard into this system. But in the meantime, I guess that I'll pass it back to Doxy and Josiah for them to do their closing bit of the show.
Hell yeah.
Go ahead.
Well,
babe.
Thanks for watching, everybody. That was very fun. I'm really looking forward to next week. Prison Break, let's go.
Sorry
cool.
we dumpstered your boss.
I'm not. That was
Okay.
great.
No,
That's great.
that it's just sometimes I think it's a curse on this show, because that happened to the final boss of Bite Size too. You guys just like dummied him because you
That's
guys rolled
true.
so fucking good. Sometimes it happens, man. That's D&D for you.
Does it make
I
you
remember
feel
getting
better that
rocked
I
by
rolled
that
like
boss.
garbage?
Well,
I
you dealt a
didn't
lot of
do
damage.
Yeah, I got rocked by that boss because he 1v1'd me
Yeah, because he 1v1.
for a little bit.
Just
You
for a
got
minute,
dummied for a little while, but
Oh yeah,
basically-
I forgot about that.
wizard abuse, I swear. So
they
mean.
beasted on the his large form and then just came and saved you, which was awesome. What a good game.
Real quick shout out, thank you for the sub, Perduff. Bless you.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I guess everyone should talk. I just realized that Dan and our names are swapped, so that's fine.
Oh no! Did
but
flicker cams maybe? Sorry, my bad.
That's okay. But yeah, Dan, if you want to tell these people who you are, oh man, look at that. We're in the right place now. If you want to tell everyone who, how, why, and when you are, where these people can find you, please feel free.
I'm at Franiel Donna on all the things. It's my Spoonrise name. We're working on a holiday special for Floodwater because I don't know if we're gonna be doing the full thing next year. And go see an open mic if you can in your area. And if you're in Iowa City, go to the Deadwood this weekend. I made a poster for their Halloween party.
I won the Halloween costume there a couple years ago as your
I think 2 years ago,
yeah. I didn't even want to enter. The staff bullied me into it.
Always
peer pressure.
And then I won.
Fucking peer
Fun
pressure.
fact about old ZD here, I've never entered a costume contest and lost. I have won every costume contest I have ever entered.
Let's do a costume contest right now. Whoever can look the most like a Greek, Canadian, Portuguese male, age 27. Let's go.
Hold on, I got this.
Damn, Doxy wins. All right, well, I guess you're 37-0 still. The record is preserved. Aaron.
What's up?
Words.
Hi, my name is Aaron. I'm getting married in 2 months, so I'm not doing much besides getting ready for that.
Hell yeah.
But I do want to do a To the Moon stream at some point where I stream all 3 games because they're incredible and not enough people have seen them.
You should do that.
That's
100%. Who are you getting married to?
That one.
That's a
fucking
perfect
turbo. Some fucking turbo version, dude. I'm a bachelor for life, baby.
Where is he? He's over there. That one.
Doxy. Yeah, that
there
makes
you
sense.
There you go, yeah.
One of these people.
What a dope segue. That
no
one.
los dos.
I am at Twitch Gaming on the Twitches there. We'll say hello in chat. Come follow me. I do a stream every Saturday right now that I where me and my buddy just platinum various games. Whenever it gets here, we have just finished platinuming all of Resident Evil 5, and he has conned me into playing Resident Evil 6 with him, and we're going to be platinuming that one, which is going to be an absolute dumpster fire from what I understand. That game is pretty trash, but we always have a great time just fucking around with that. So
and the logo looks like a giraffe man getting a BJ.
Yeah, don't like that. Very
my next character.
Like a minotaur, but a giraffe instead of a bull. Hell yeah, everyone go click on Twitch Games and chat and follow Aaron and Eric because they're lovely. Go follow Dan on Twitter. Follow all these lovely people on Twitter. Thank you so much for joining us. Babe, do you have anything else you want to say before we sign off here?
Keep an eye on OnlyFans.
Yeah, that's true. Also, tomorrow is Wednesday.
My dude.
It is Wednesday. Tomorrow is Wednesday. We'll be here tomorrow. And by we, I mean probably just Doxy. But tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern time, 6 p.m. Atlantic time, whatever p.m. your time, show up here. And Doxy's going to be playing a game, TBD. And if you haven't already seen it, the first episode of our new D&D show as well, which airs on Thursday nights now, was last week, which you guys should all go check out as well. The VOD's there. Also, Thursday at the same time as this show. Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as well. We have a D&D show going set in Innistrad. I am DMing that one. Eric's brother's in that game. So show up and tell him that his brother is handsome.
Yeah. Also, let him know that the internet knows that he's really 4'11". He can't hide it
Yes.
any longer.
Make sure you
The
tell
lies,
that.
the lies just only hurt him.
That's true. So make sure you swing by on Thursday to help Eric bully his brother. On that note, we're
Over a
gonna
thing he
dip
completely
out.
cannot control
Yeah, absolutely.
whatsoever.
And literally,
Yeah.
he's above average height, and we'll just pick on him because all of us are stupid tall.
So yeah, if you want to participate in familial bullying, definitely show up on Thursday. Because there's a prime opportunity just waiting to be taken there. So yeah. All right, that's it. You can see everyone's Twitter handles, follow everyone on all the things. That's all. Have a great night, everybody. We love you. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye. See you later.